stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Times don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world but keep the sky on your mind. So high I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Times don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world but keep the sky on your mind.
Once again, I thank you for this beautiful event. So, Circle Safety is happy to welcome you all for this grand professional training meet 2023. Shall we all start with a beautiful applause to the Circle's Safety? A big applause. It's a beautiful morning and with a full on energy. And thank you so much for all the professionals to join the evening. Morning, I'm sorry about that. And thank you. And I request to start with the light in the lamp. I request Mr. Sundarajan to join the stage, DGM of Safety. Sindhu, Senior Construction Manager, to join the stage. And also Mr. N. Radhakrishnan sir to join the stage, please. Need an energy clap. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. I also request Mr. Mohan Das to join the stage along with them for a pic. Can we all give a big applause for the founder? Thank you, the young and handsome, energetic founder. Thanks a lot.
Good morning to all of you. I welcome you all for this grand training session organized by Circle Safety, Mr. Murugadas and Mr. Mohan Das. This one is started with a simple thought. Actually, when I had a discussion with Mr. Murugadas, when he came to meet me, I requested Mr. Murugadas to conduct one training session on the third-party inspection. See, many of us, we are working outside. Now, you know, in Chennai Metro Rail, we are doing a lot of lifting activities. We are bringing many big cranes for doing the lifting for the cage and also the U-girders and all. We are bringing very big cranes also. So I thought that why can't we give a training session to all these people, like even CMRL, including GC, the contractors and all, how these inspections are carried out. We simply that we always, everybody is busy, the construction team is very busy, and safety people also going around here and there, and we leave it to the plant and machinery team, we call them and we ask them to do a third-party inspection. But I wanted to go a little bit more, how they are doing the third-party inspections. What are all the features they are doing when they are coming for the third-party inspection, what they are inspecting and all, I wanted to know. So I thought that I wanted to know maybe why can't we, the CMRL staff, GC staff and the contractor staff, even the construction team and all, we know how to do that third party. So with that single thought, I had a discussion. They also agreed, okay, we will conduct one training session. Then we developed, in the due course of the time, we discussed and all. So I also wanted to add that, okay, we wanted to have a panel discussion. So whatever the difficulties, the people, maybe the safety people, they may have some difficulties in carrying out the work. Then the plant and machinery people also, they have their own difficulties to complete the work. And the execution team also, they are all under pressure to do the progress. So everybody is under pressure, everybody wanted to do the work fast, and also we wanted to work safely. So I wanted to think that, we wanted to come together, everybody have to come together, like execution team, plant and machinery team, and safety team. In that, this is contractor team, including that now the GC team, CMRL team. So everybody have to come together as a one team. Our goal is, we wanted to do the work safely. And also we wanted to progress. For what for we are here, we wanted to complete this progress, we complete this project without any incident. So our goal is, everybody's goals are same. Whether it is an execution, whether it is a plant and machinery, or whether it is a safety, or GC or CMRL, all our goals are same. Everybody is working for one goal. What is the goal? We wanted to complete this 118 kilometer of this project safely, without any incident, and also on time. So I always say that, as a safety person, you should not think that only I am taking care of safety, I don't worry about the progress. But I am having the responsibility to complete the project on time. So as a safety person, we are having the responsibility to complete the project on time. So whenever we are asking the execution team, so you are responsible for the safety. They are responsible for the progress, but we are informing them you are responsible for the safety. Like that, as a safety person, I am also thinking that I am responsible for the progress. I have to complete the project on time. But I want safety. Maybe for the progress team, the progress is first, they may think the safety is second. For me, the safety is first, the progress is second. At last, we all come together, we wanted to have a safe progress. That is our aim. So for that, to achieve that, we wanted to have an amalgamation. Everybody is achieving, everybody looking for one goal, and we wanted to have an amalgamation. That's why we gather here. As I know, that in this gathering, we will have a discussion with the third-party inspector, how they are doing the third-party inspection, what are all the features they are checking when they are doing third-party inspection, and what are all the difficulties, how we can cooperate, work together to get the certification. And apart from that, we may have a panel discussion or some case studies and panel discussion. In that panel discussion, we can discuss their difficulties like execution difficulties, plant and machinery difficulties, and safety personnel difficulties, and we come up with the ideas. We can propose the ideas. Some people may tackle the problems in an easy way. They can share their idea. We want to share our ideas during the panel discussion. Everybody have to share your views during our panel discussion. Afterwards, we may have a very good lunch. With that, we wanted to have a remembering training session. That's why I thank Circle Safety for organizing this even in a grand manner. We never expect that this much a grand manner they will organize this training section. I thank Circle Safety. I once again thanks all the participants from CMRL, GC and contractors for attending this training section. Thank you. We will enjoy this event.
Okay, definitely we're going to enjoy, and it's really going to be knowledgeable. I will request Mr. Bala Divagar to join the stage to say a few words from Aeon Consortium. A big applause for each and everybody who's come down the stage, please. Thank you.
So I could say thanks to Circle Safety to organize this event. I think few weeks back, myself and Mr. Jana discussed about this event must be conducted to increase awareness to all the team. So what the TPI, third-party inspection, doing at the site, and what kind of parameters they're using to check all the machineries. So that's why we had discussed with him also for the third-party, the Circle Safety team to organize this event. Okay, recently there is a number of incidents happen in other packages also. So that incidents is involved all the machineries, right? That is UG. So totally 25 people are died, and even though our packages, CMR also, there is many incidents. We have, yesterday we sent from 7th alert for ours Aeon side also. So all that alerts is involving in the machineries. So while machinery is involving for this, all that alert, so why? We think about this. Okay, when the TPI third-party inspection, what is importance for this? So today the event that Circle Safety, they discuss about what is TPI and what is the parameters, how to the checking parameters, everything also, we can follow it. And I say thanks to the contractors who are joined for this event, and CMRL team also. Thank you for everyone to enjoy this event. Thank you.
Now I request Mr. N. Radhakrishnan sir, the Chief Safety Advisor from L&T, to say a few words. I'm just waiting for the claps, yes. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Good morning, gentlemen. I would like to thank profusely from the bottom of my heart Circle Safety for coming forward to organize this unique event in the shortest possible time in a very grand manner. Hats off and kudos to Circle Safety team. This program is unique in the sense, I don't think how many other metros like Delhi Metro or Kanpur, Lucknow, Jaipur, so many other metros are happening everywhere, coming forward to conduct a program like this. And definitely it is helpful in a way. All safety professionals, P&M team, execution team, contractor side, consultant side, client side are all assembling under one roof and discussing the concerns, the difficulties, the problems, the challenges and the opportunities they are facing under one roof discussion and spot. And definitely it's a big brainstorming session in a way, and assembling together and exchanging views. We are all tied up at our site activities. It's a very cumbersome, tedious, laborious, challenging in a very tough situation, pressure situation. We are all working, and definitely this type of gathering is a icebreaker. It's a monotony breaker, and we are all just smiling at each other and exchanging our pleasantries and exchanging our views and difficulties and opportunities and challenges. And this is a great platform. And for organizing this platform, and I would like to thank Mr. Janardhanan and Mr. Baladivakar and Mr. Sundarajan from the CMRL side to organize such a wonderful, unique event in a great, successful manner. I request all to take great advantage, reap the benefits of this program, and when we go home, and we should feel at the end of the day that we had a very nice session today. Thank you very much.
So much, sir. Thanks a lot. And when it comes to Circle Safety, we all know any product, the end user is the public. So it all starts from the ministry who is actually approving, taking the project, and goes on to CMRL, and then the GC, Aon and NCAB is the two contractors who hold the project, and as a subcontract there are so many who is actually competent to each other. They are the executors. So from there what happens as a training part, the best part is training definitely, and the men and machineries has to be trained, right? So that is where we all come in, and the best of that is when it comes to a TPI, this Circle Safety has achieved 90% in the market share. Let's give it a big applause for that. It's not an easy job. 90% of the market share has been taken by Circle Safety, and the training is nearly 40% we have achieved. And next is the calibration. And the most important of this meeting, definitely what we are going to achieve after all this success is the audit, the ISO 45001. Definitely end of the session, I'm sure, like with all the professionals, we're going to achieve that also. Can we all give it a round of applause that with all your support this is going to be achieved? Thank you so much. So to give the presentation about the Circle Safety, let's welcome Mr. Murugadas, the Director of Circle Safety. A big applause, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together and welcome Mr. Murugadas.
Thank you from Circle Safety side. Just I will take some short time to explain our company's capabilities and whatever the infrastructure we have, how we are doing that, what are the different services we are offering to CMRL as well as some outside the CMRL also we are serving. So the PPT, 7,000 square feet of land and 10,000 square feet of building, of which we are utilizing 2 floors for these activities, which is 4,800 square feet, big training hall, which can accommodate 100 members, and other training rooms, which are AC furnished training rooms, so that participants will come comfortable away from the work atmosphere. So about Circle Safety, this is started by my son. I am the father of Mohandas, so I am guiding, and he is the full implementer of this development of this company, is taking care of him. And wherever required, I am giving some, whatever my experience, guidance, and giving to him, right? So this company started in around, we are going to complete another 1 decade. Another 1 year, we are going to complete the 10 years of this service company's inception, right? It is just started with a single safety shoe selling, right? Trading, buying and selling to the TVS group, which is the Wheels India company. That is the first company we were associated with the safety products trading, just getting the order and that. So slowly that is being developed step by step, and we are entering into in all the activities like training to the other companies in all outside of CMRL also, and CMRL is the now main focus on that. But parallelly we are doing other services also to other sector, automobile and IT sector. There also we are performing all the activities in addition to this CMRL. So this is our vision, to empower the aspiring youth with skill, knowledge and values, thereby exploiting their potential to the core in making them iconic, infusing entrepreneurship. So this is our company vision, to build the business environment that which emulates system analysis and value system, where ethics shall be the guiding spirit in earning pure money. Yeah, next. This is about our company mission. So we are professional sense of belonging shall be inculcated. A deep yet qualitative work culture integral to the motto of institution shall be imbibed. Endurance of the highest. So we are thought of giving more employment to the young engineers, utilizing the young mind and to exploit their thoughts and developing the business and doing the best service to meet the customer expectation fully or beyond the expectation of the customer. That is what our motto, right? These are the values of Circle Safety. Break even in planning, extraction, accomplishment. A model corporate governance that which ensures strict compliance of the fundamentals to the core. A mechanism where men should think and systems should work. So we can build up the system, and we can think that thinking thought process has to be converted to the system, and the system has to work without any hiccups or any sort. So that is a monitoring of the system, whether whatever thought is going to the end user in a proper way, in a quality manner, on time, everything. That is our goal. So this is about founder. So he is the founder. I am the supporting part, right? So his qualification, you can see that B electrical and electronics engineering, studied in Nana University College of Engineering, Gindi campus from 2000, completed in 2009. And MS Quality Management. Just he did MS Quality Management from BITS Plan Institute, and he acquired the Chartered Engineer Electrical Competent Person from DISH and IOSH, NEBOSH Lead Auditor. These are the NDT level to non-destructive testing of the ASNT, SNTTC level 2 in penetrant testing, liquid penetrant testing, magnetic particle testing, ultrasonic testing, and radiographic testing. All these things is having a level 2 certifications. Also, having the capability of doing the test and evaluate and interpret the results also based on the acceptance criteria. This another, next one is Salambarasan. He is the managing director, taking care of all these company's activities and coordinating, managing that. His qualification became MBA and IOSH. He is also having the safety side qualifications also. So these are our associates, all retired people, more than 60 age. Our company is associating with, one is myself, and I am having 41, just a few words about me. I am having 41 years of experience, worked in India and 15 years in abroad, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait. I spent 10 years, 8 years in Qatar, remaining period in Saudi, Kuwait. So worked in the Bureau Veritas as a inspector, and DNV GL, then DL merged with DNV GL. There also I worked. And in India, Chennai, I worked in the Medas Fertilizers Limited, around 25 years service from 82 to 2007. taking care of, worked in various fields like plant operation to maintenance inspection in all the area exposed to all, starting from the plant operation to maintaining the equipment. I know both side of the equipments, right? Operation of the pump or cranes, everything from the plant side people, operation people. Then I went to the other side also. Looking back, how the machinery is maintained, how it is, what is the difficulties having in the machineries, construction machineries used in the industries. And Middle East also the same thing, we are doing the same experience. And we have SM Ravi senior, N. Kumar, he is also from L&T, and SM Ravi is also from L&T, all. Then Periyasamy, who is the retired joint director from DISH, Chennai. Muthukumar, Udaya Kumar, Segar Ganapati is also senior and having RLI certification auditor. And Murugeswaran, these are all our CPCs. Muthukumar, competent person. Udaya Kumar and Murugeswaran, I am also a competent person and having the qualification of BE and MBA and other certifications also related to the Middle East requirement. So this is our organization profile. Just for a minute. So we have a team of people, back-end people. While we are doing inspection simultaneously, we have all the, as you all know that we have a different group, individual groups for individual package, and we are posting all the inspection reports simultaneously. The back-end team will prepare the certifications and uploading within the possible, at least the same day or at the maximum next day. These are our core values. We are entered into the third-party inspection, first in the CMRL, then we went to the training and this calibration, ASLI calibration certifications also, and third-party training. Then we are also having auditors in our panel, associates who can able to very senior people, all beyond 60 senior citizen people are associated. They can do a better auditing, all these things of our services to the customers. That's all right. So this is about brief about our company. So just we are showcasing we have the infrastructure, we have the people, and we have the services to offer. So these are third-party inspection, whatever we do for the mainly CMRL and some outside parties also. Lifting machines, lifting gears and earth moving, all construction equipments and pressure equipments like certification of air pressure, like air compressor having a air receiver. That vessel also we used to visually inspection and taking some thickness measurement using the ultrasonic meter and verifying the thickness of the plate and giving the certification of this one. So the operator training, competency training, we have the full facility of giving competent training to the operators in a very good environment of the office space. Supervisor evaluation training, management training also we used to go to the site and giving the management training to the middle level managers or whenever they are asking us our services. So we are flexible both conducting in our premises and also to go to the site premises also based on the client customer requirement. Then health and safety audit, environmental audit, all this quality audit, energy audit, fire and safety. So we are doing this for the past, from the company startup to other industries like automobile industries, IT, HCL, Royal Enfield, Coca-Cola, TVS Group, all other groups we are doing all these activities, and we have the panel auditors also with all certifications. So this slide talks about our calibration NDT and the safe load indicator, ASLI, automatic safe load indicator, which is the safety device to limit the load and monitor the crane performance before the overloading criteria. It is set in the ASLI, all know. These are the measuring instruments, all these things we have the calibration capabilities also. So NDT we are doing any weld joints, anything is there, we can do our utilizing our level 2 knowledge. I am also certified level 2 NDT and is also, we have Muthukumar, all our CPC also having the NDT level 2 certificates who can do the magnetic or dye penetrant testing to check the welding soundness and strength of the weld. So these are our clients, main clients, SCL, SCC, all these Ultratech cement, construction side industry, Axle India, automobile side. TVS Group almost we penetrated in all the area and we are doing services to them. Okay, thank you. So for your assembling and listen to my company profile speech. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. And thank you so much once again for explaining exactly the company, the key factors and what they really do. And when it comes to profile, I think they are definitely the best. Can we give once again a big applause for the presentation and about the circle safety? And thank you. And now I request Mr. N. Kumar to join the stage to elaborate the training features of circle safety. Thank you. Chinna claps. Now the event is a little short only. We'll just go for a tea break in a short time. And thank you so much, sir.
Morning all. Everybody is there, okay? Yeah. I am N. Kumar. I think most of the people in safety knows me by profession. I am basically a mechanical engineer, and I started my career in L&T 1985. More than 30 years, 27 years I worked in L&T of various sectors. I took safety as a profession in between after mechanical engineering for 8 years. It made me know one of the incident. We're all working for a project for someone, whereas the unknown person from a field who comes to us for his daily earning bread butter for the family, why he has to lose his life, what mistake he has made, whether he is really responsible for his accident. Then I thought of we should thought. It was happened in 87, 88 in those days. In fact, those days helmet was not a mandatory, and we don't have safety harness in full, and some rope or some waist belt was tied up. Then we were in a group in a project discussing. That time I worked all around in India. I was in Anta, Rajasthan that time. Then I took safety as a career. Then RLI, 1989. It was the 9th batch or something like that. My seniors are still there now. A different. All we have an association. I am presently the president of Safety Engineer Association 2, and that's running more than 24 years, and we are going to achieve Silver Jubilee very soon. And my veterans are there now, and a few of the participants also, like secretary and all, here still. One more area, we were doing safety, but it was not up to the standard. We have BOCW Act and all, it came after that only, but it was not implemented in full. We got opportunity in L&T doing a project in DuPont. There was eye-opener for every one of us. There I was there around 4 years. Real safety was brought to India. That was a golden time. There we brought full body harness. That's the first time. Even I don't know how to wear a full body harness. So I got training from the foreigners. That was the time. So slowly, safety culture has developed, and Gumdi Pundi was the place where even a villager knows about safety. That was the achievement of DuPont with support of Larsen & Toubro, ECC construction. That was really we have valuable time, and most of the safety people from L&T came there, and there was a demonstration. We had a full-fledged safety orientation room, induction. Even in fact, first EHS plan was made in that particular project for construction. So a lot of things we started. Then we were doing, I am retired. Then I am doing a consultant in BGR. I worked in Gulf for around 7-8 years. I worked in Malaysia, worked in Oman, Gulf countries. I was sector, we call it the Middle East and Africa Zonal Safety in charge. A lot of things I got in L&T. It's a good time to show, learn the things in safety. Then one day, we were, Mr. Murugadas is my friend. We studied together in Polytechnic diploma those time. One day we had a gathering after 40 years. All still we have 1981. A big team is there now. More than 250 people are in a WhatsApp group, and then we go to their marriage because retired, no much job. Go to some marriages, some parties, etc. One day like that we were discussing. Then nobody said, what you are going to do after retirement? Nothing. He said, you got a very good skill of a lot of knowledge, etc. I am doing like this. Then that day it was started. Then with the support of our Mr. Janardhan, Radhakrishnan, all those people, we planted the idea of conducting training. And Mr. Mohan, the excellent, young personal, he got very big thought of developing safety culture in India. And already they were doing a lot of things. Wonderful facility. I request every one of you go and visit the facility. It's more or less 2 floors and segment participated for different group. We can conduct some 4 to 5 training at one slot, one time. Separate air-conditioned places. A lot of things they made. And as soon as I saw that one, I thought, okay, this is the place where the requirement of skill. Now, what we need is in India, skill. The projects are going to come. Where the skill? People wanted to go to a factory and comfortably work there. Construction is the growth place. Without construction, no growth will take place. This is one of the base. I am not telling about other things also. Construction is the infrastructure area where the development of roads, railways, bridges, and multi-story buildings. When we construct the thing, the team will get out and go to a different place. Again, under a Samiana, will start for the new project. Whereas other people will go and sit in the particular location, they do their business. So the struggle, the danger, that risk, whatever is there in construction, the skill requirement was there. The purpose of having our training is whatever knowledge we have. Mr. Ravi, a lot of people were there jointly together. Whatever skill we have, the skill can be transplanted to other people, junior people. Have a profession in 5-6 languages because I was in construction for so many years. So workmen come with the different places, and there is no standard procedure, even small example I'll tell you, there is no standard signal for the lifting equipment with the workman. When we saw the workman, everyone will say, Dire abase. That means there is no standard. Most of the accident in construction in metal handling. In metal handling, if you say, one is manual, okay, of course, not much. Equipment. Buy this equipment because operator skill, workman skill, and the signals. And lifting tools and tackles, of course. So already they were doing third party for all this thing. Everything is certified, everything is tested, all fine. But till why there is an accident? Because there is no skill how to use the tools and tackles, how to give the signals for the people. So the facility, what we utilized is to communicate to the people. Even in the center, we have samples of unsafe tools, tackles, damaged wire ropes, even D-shackles, to make people to understand why it has gone. It is not that we are educating. We are getting information. You tell me what is the reason for this damage. They have to tell the damage. Accordingly, it is being done now. So slowly, every worker was asked to give their views and their feedbacks when they do the training program, when they undergo the training program, whether they understood the point, whether there is a feedback questionnaire. So those people also give their feedback. I understand this and all question answers. And last evaluation, how the program is, how the trainer is, how the facility is. So those sort of things we started slowly, and we get the feedback. Accordingly, the trainers are educated. We are train the trainers now. And of course, audit, they are going to start again now. And now what I am requesting this circle safety, so they will be doing some artificial intelligence and audit and digital safety platform. So these are all the things should come up. And sure, thank you Circle Safety, and thank you for all. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I think definitely you have plenty of experience to be shared, and sorry for interrupting you, and thanks a lot for the beautiful presentation and the exposure you have, and thanks a lot. A big applause once again to Mr. N. Kumar. So I request Mr. S. M. Ravi to join the stage to elaborate the audit features of Circle Safety. I totally understand. Some are very keen observers, some are writing the notes also. Really, thank you everybody.
Good morning to all. No, energy is not sufficient. Still we have to go for another 2 hours. Good morning. Thank you. Yes, very nice to see you all in this forum. First of all, I sincere thanks to Circle Safety for organizing this wonderful program to mingle all the level of people from consultant, client, contractor and participant and government officials and like us as a service provider, the safety experts. Yes, it is a vital for the day since we are one team as a safety fraternity. Now the order of the day is to enhance the safety culture in our workplace. The Circle Safety is taking lead role for that. How to cultivate the people and tune the people to follow the safety at workplace by providing training, by providing consultancy service, by providing third-party training, and also for conducting the audit to evaluate our system, procedures are functioning to meet our management commitment and our own commitment of ensuring well-being of the employees. Correct? Coming down to my profile, I am Ravi, having the mechanical engineering background and studied from the Ramakrishna Mission Student of Mylapore, Madras, and worked for about 20 years in industry, various level and various multicultural business, starting from machine tool fabrication, machine tool manufacturing, process engineering, and finally end up with construction, then switched over to safety professional in 2000. Till then I am practicing as a safety professional, having the qualification of RLI safety and NIBOSH, and also the lead auditor for ISO 14001 and 45001, 9001. This is my self-introduction, and having the experience, having local and national and international safety exposure. I am also one of the key member in Safety Engineers Association of India, as well as Emirates Safety Professional Group and International Safety Forum. I am having experience in submitting a lot of papers in the various forum in the international, so it was well recognized and acknowledged by the safety professionals. So now this is the session for enlightening the audit service provided by the Circle Safety. We have the team of auditor to conduct the audit in the manufacturing industries, construction sector, or offices and buildings and IT sector too. So we are having the people and also having the very wide knowledge about what to do the audit, how to do the audit. To many of the people are not differentiating what is the purpose of audit and inspection. Am I correct or wrong? Many audit report, you might have seen that our internal audit or external audit, housekeeping is not good. This is the audit report. Another report, while working, we found the machine is running without guard. that should be rectified. Requirement. This is standard. This is the requirement. Is it correct way of reporting the audit report? No. Audit is what for the purpose of audit? Purpose of audit is something is not there. Why it is not there? It has to be identified whether it is a human error or management error or the social impact or peer group pressure. That has to be addressed in the audit process. Then we have to recommend what to be done for that. So this is the audit of element of the simple purpose. Highlighting is one part of the audit process, and also follow up and close out also important. Many of the auditor, what they did, they will conduct the audit, they will submit the report, then they will close their eyes. Then I'll find day they will ask for the close out report without verifying that they are closing the report. No. As a circle safety, what we used to do? We used to conduct the audit. We will inform with the standard what we are going to follow, what is the checklist we are going to follow, how we are going to evaluate your system in place. Then the closeout meeting, what are the merits and the demerits, gaps identified, that has been explained to the key person of the project site or offices or maybe the owner or maybe the MD, so that they can receive our report, they can read our report, so that they love to take the corrective action and respond properly to close out. Even though it is a paid service, we are having the justified for the payment what they made it. So because of our quality of service, we are rendered by the circle safety. And also being an auditor, we are explaining what is our limitations, roles and limitations. Also we are explaining the auditee also what is their roles to play, how to handle this audit process, what level of reporting they are supposed to have, what kind of procedure they are supposed to follow, what are everything we can explain to the demonstrate their roles and responsibility of auditee and auditors, so that they can prepare well for the audit, and also what are the guidance we are giving they can implement in future requirement. So all these things are there. Once they are submitting the corrective actions, we are also accepting and closing it. What we are requesting to our members or our client, our co-partners, ensure the corrective actions are having the effectiveness. What is meant by the effectiveness? The word effectiveness. Anybody can explain what is the effectiveness? Effectiveness of corrective action. This is the very big gap in our management system or management implementation of our workplaces. The audit report says particular activity doesn't have the HERA, however the work being executed. This is the audit finding, correct? What the corrective action done by the auditee? They will prepare, they will submit, the auditor will verify and close the report. That is the corrective action. Effectiveness of corrective action. What is the effectiveness of corrective action? No. What are any other activities in the same place? It is not being carried out. You have to ensure all the workers are having the HERA risk assessment is or not. Not only what is the auditor identified the point. Today they may be risk assessment identified for launching the girder. There is no risk assessment. Whereas tomorrow we are going to do some electrical panel installation. Whether we are preparing the risk assessment in advance or not. That is the effectiveness of corrective action. One, again effectiveness of corrective action. You may be taking in the Chennai Metro project, effectiveness of corrective action. Your work may be done in the Nagpur. You may be done in the Kanpur metro station. Your operations in the company operations are having the risk assessment for all the activities. It is the 100% effectiveness of the corrective action. Am I clear to you guys? Gentlemen, it is clear? What is meaning by the effectiveness of corrective action? It is one of the audit process, ensuring effectiveness of the audit process. Okay? Thank you very much for your chance. Thank you very much. Thank you everyone.
So honestly, that was a vibrant presentation with a style actually. And there is a threat involved when you don't audit. That has been beautifully explained. And thank you so much. Once again, a big applause to Mr. S.M. Ravi. Thank you so much. And when it comes to training, definitely it has a direct impact on your organization, productivity and the performance. Training gives an employee a better understanding of the responsibility and the knowledge and the skills they need to do their jobs, and this will definitely improve their confidence, which can positively impact the performance. And the main man is going to come now, just a small introduction about him. So you all know that he is a founder of Circles Safety, and he has worked in L&T also, and he is a graduate from Anna University, a versatile businessman, the young, handsome and vibrant for sure. And it's not about starting a business, it's all about how you drive the business with passion, with a strong team. The best service you provide makes any business success, is definitely proven it. Tamil, I'll just say a small proverb in Tamil. அப்பா 8 அடி பாஞ்சா கண்டிப்பா குட்டி 16 அடி பாயும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. And he has done it. Let's welcome the founder himself, Mr. Mohan Das. A big applause people for his presentation. Yes.
Not much experience about the people, senior people who have spoken here, and it is just start of my career, and we just thought of having a company when I was working in L&T. I feel that okay, my bosses are the very renowned, and I feel they are the gurus for me, because they appreciated me and they told that you have potential and you can go for it. So that very rarely a boss can do it. And I remember my boss's name when I used to present or when I used to do things, Mr. Jnanas Kandan. He is my first boss from Bangalore, and second Mr. Gunashekaran. So these are the two bosses I had in my career, and they are very vibrant, powerful, and they are very focused and point oriented, and they don't mishaps, they don't have the mishaps in the companies they handle. So I remember their names, and I would like to thank them ever, as well as my father, Mr. Murugadas, and my family as well as, and all my gurus actually. So here I was knocking the door everywhere in Chennai, in Tamil Nadu, when I started this company. So when we are knocking the doors of Wheels India, somebody from our relatives had some insights, and after that, to getting into a CMRL, you know that it is a dream come opportunity, and we as a user end from contractor side, as well as from the GC side, as well as from the CMRL side, we have been in close interaction with them, what is need and what is expected and what is to be delivered. So it is not just a TPI as a third party inspection or the training services or the audits, or it's all trend is moving around. So it's not just like before we are getting into a situation and having an audit. I worked in a company called Bureau Veritas. That is my first company. Out of 600 students, I got selected as 2. So when I start my career in Bureau Veritas, it is an inspection, testing and certification agency. So Bureau Veritas, many people would know, BVQI is a very old company. It is a 200-year-old company. So I started my career in Bangalore only. So that time I was a very young person. I had to audit senior fellows, like senior members, like the CEOs or top management audit. So that time I have faced a lot of things that has given me a great confidence. And Bangalore is my birthplace, or second birthplace for my career. So now the trend is like you have to get it instant. You have to get it instant, and you have to be knowledgeable, and you have to be very, very clear on what you speak, or very, very clear on what is required. So that is what the agenda is. The main focus of this, it's not a training actually. So you know these people, you know guys, it's not like a company called Circle Safety or some other company is going to teach you more. You are the experts. The Chennai CMRL knows that these are the top peoples in the India. It is the most prestigious project of India. Correct. So you people, if you people don't know anything, or you people know something which is known by us, it is impossible. We are just telling, I'm here to tell what is expected as a DISH rule, or the Directorate of Industrial Safety and Health expects, or the COC agreement expects, or what is the trend expects, like if there is any subsequent accidents or recurrence or whatever is happening, or based on it, how it is tailored. So that is the idea behind it. So we thought that, okay, let us put it up and assemble all the, we thought that we will give it to the contractors, but Jana sir is the, Jana sir and Bala Divakar sir as the motive for this thing. They have been guiding us, this is how you should perform and this is how this is requirement and this is what is expected, this is what happening. And we have been in very transparent with the contractors as well, how and what is expected out of it. We clearly bridge between CMRL, GC and the contractors, because we want things to be happening in a very smoothful manner. It should be in a, if third party inspection is the decision of the mission, when mission is going to be performing the activity, then that is the key role, and we fall on the responsibilities and we understand that. And many of us, like CMRL also, we had a good guidance from Sundarajan sir, Anand sir, and from many people. We cannot count here, from Asif sir. Many people have given us small inputs which has come to this long way. Now, if you see any missions which we have audited, you just go there and there is a QR code available on that mission. You just open your Google Lens or in whatever this QR code or something, you just scan it. You will know the history of the mission. How many times it has become not satisfactory, or how many times it has been rejected for certain reason, or how many times it has been approved, and how many cycles of investigation it has been went. And what are the documents like operator documents or insurance or whatever cases you can find it there. So that is how the instant report has been provided. For the handy, it's like office bearers will be, the office staffs, they want to face an audit in the office premises. After witnessing in the site area, they will have an Excel sheet which is providing the total link of it. When you just find a mission, if it is mentioned as R4, the mission has undergone 5 times of inspection. So if it is R21, you can just go for it. It has been tested for 22 times. You can just find out the history of it. Why you want to find the history of it? How many times? Why it has been investigated? Imagine if a crane, if it is disapproved or not satisfactory, is given for 5 times. And you can decide on the mission whether to have it or not. And why it has happened, you can see on that. So that is why we are having this session for a small gap. I will not take much of your time, I understand. So I just show the highlights in what all missions, what all we see as a critical, and what all DISH has seen as a critical. So when I see this, when we as a Circle Safety or any TPI agency, if see these points, if it is not complying, then we will straight away go for a not satisfactory. And surely we will escalate to the contractors and as well as the concerns who have been associated with that missions, right? So I will not bore you more, but I'll just get into the details of very crucial equipment which I wanted to focus, because day and night we are relying on that. It is called the mobile crane. So the basic ideology of this training is significance and highlights of TPI. We are just going to see what is significant and highlights of this TPI. So mobile crane, we'll take a mobile crane. That is our crucial equipment. We see that it's a very, very crucial equipment. And whatever does in the casting yard, whatever happens in the transportation, everything comes to one goal: to erect the pier and keep the bridge, U-girder, and make the train run. So both the things, the most important mission is mobile crane. So we'll go for this mobile crane. Mobile crane usually, I feel, this is not that it is a standard, or there are a lot of standards available like IS 14470 and 807. A lot of standards are available. What is very focused and crucial, and where it may go wrong, and where it went wrong in the other metros or other construction sites or other industries. So this is what the major areas it has been failed and it has been gone into an accident stage. So first is rope and rope termination. People, when you are visiting a mission or selecting a mission or inspecting a mission or approving a mission, first you see its rope and rope termination. That is the place the entire weight has been holded. So next is fall determination. Falls, how much falls has to be determined? There are a lot of confusions because it created by the subcontractors. They say this many number of falls is enough. This many number of falls. They have multiple reasons to reduce the falls. they will not increase the faults. If you ask someone, they will not increase the faults. They will ask one more faults we can reduce. We can use it this way. It will be faster. It will be easier. A lot of reasons they will tell based on this faults. So there also some hiccups is available. And the second is the load chart selection. I have seen many projects, people are looking into a load chart where only supplier is given or the subcontractor is given. You are trusting them. We should never trust us. See, I'm telling you it is right. You can go for it. You can know the people that they will give supply only original documents. No. Today is not that trend actually. You have to go for the mission model and go in a Google. Everything it is in your hands. Even I'll tell you one good ideology. How do I learn? It is my personal agenda is before I used to go with many people or ask many people and learn it. Nowadays, no, I'll just go for a ChatGPT or Brad AI. I'll just ask it what is the latest load chart, where I can find the latest load chart of LTM 1500 or SANI 500A or whatever it is. It gives the details where I can find. And that you can just go for the Google and you can directly find out the load chart and you can get it and used. You will have German version, you will have US version, you will have Europe versions, you will have Indian versions. So that one of the thing is like one important parameter is load chart selection. And second is registration number. So I kept it as a registration number, not as M-Parivan. Why we have kept it as a registration number? There is a highlight on it. I have seen in our packages itself or in outside packages, a mission carrying 3-4 registration numbers. A mission carrying 3-4 registrations. It is not that when something has happened and after that when we investigate and things see that it is gone wrong and somewhere something has been hidden or something has gone wrong. Registration number and M-Parivan, people used to say that M-Parivan has a delay and it is upload has a delay. I got the certificate or I got the insurance but it has been not uploaded in the M-Parivan. No. I have checked with my relatives working in RTO. They are telling that without pressing the button of M-Parivan button, you cannot take an insurance. So this is one of the recent very clear updates from the RTO. It says that when you click an insurance, he has to click another button in the RTO office and then it gets updated immediately in the M-Parivan. We have seen missions without M-Parivan updation, but but the document says that it has been insured. So like that. So the registration number is also, we have to be a very serious concern. And ASLI settings. So ASLI settings, if you see one thing and there will be something in the ASLI. So imagine if there is a load chart, if there is a lifting plan and everything has been set. It is like 7.87 meters and it's been lifted with 60 ton and it has been counter rate has been so and so like 100 ton and the SWL has been fallen to 74 to 75 ton. When you lift it, it comes to 73% or 74% or 70%. So ASLI setting, and you people please know this thing. ASLI setting can be changed anytime. After everything is set, you can change it. Number of faults you can change. Number of counterweight, the counterweight value you can change. So these certain parameters, without your knowledge also, the contractor may change because you will de-hire the mission. Imagine if the crane capacity is not capable of lifting certain height or certain radius, the SWL is not matching your contractual requirement like 75% or critical lifting of maximum 80%. So that they can alter and they can do it. So that also being done. So it is not here, even in Bangalore, my friends are available, they are also seeing this incident. So second thing is like outrigger. There are a number of incidents we've seen that outrigger has a leakage. There are two ways. One is the overflow oil can leak from the outrigger. And another one is the leak can be seriously from the pressure which is built and the gasket is not holding. So when the outrigger has a bigger leak, you would never go for an erection or never allow the machine to work. And second, the third one is like counterweight selection. So you select the counterweight based on the load chart. So the load chart is the key and the ASLI is the key and the real time factor is the key. So all these three things has to match. So when we see one thing on load chart, the number of, see imagine if there is a load chart says 36 boom length, and if there is a false mentioning 7. And if the contractor or the contractor, see mainly I don't usually tell contractors, it is because of the subcontractors, we feel that the person who is operating the machine or the holding the machine has enough knowledge, more than working for 30 years, and he says that okay, this is fine. So henceforth we start accepting them. Problem is, if you miss the load chart, or I have been discussing with manufacturers of the cranes also, we are putting mails to them, we are understanding things from them. See, there is one crawler crane, if you see that it is 36 meter boom length, and it has been kept for a 6 falls. Whereas the load chart, there is, in the 36 boom length, there is no 6 falls. It is only 7 falls are available, or you have to go for a 5 falls. And if you are putting a 6 falls, the ASLI readings will never match with the load chart. But yes, it is capable of lifting a 20-ton or 30-ton or whatever it is. But you cannot substantiate it if anything goes wrong. So never select beyond the books or beyond the physical things or whatever is set. So that is what main thing. So coming to the rope and rope termination. So we have seen certain incidents that we will seriously discuss on this forum. So rope termination, how a rope to be terminated. There are two angles a rope is terminated. One is crimping, correct? One is crimping. And second one is what? It is with this kind of sockets they use for terminating the rope. So one is swagged socket, splitter socket, and wedge socket. And please gentlemen, what we actually should select for a dynamic load. And what is a dynamic load and what is a static load? Imagine if there is a 100 kgs, imagine I can lift 45 to 50 kgs. In my age, I can lift 45 to 50 kgs, I hope. Imagine if it is given from somebody and I'm just holding it like a baby transfer from one hand to the another hand. And if you are holding it, it is a static load. You can lift it, you can hold it. It is meant holding. And imagine if you are same 50 kgs, you are moving it from the somewhere or pulling it somewhere. So it is a dynamic load. In this case, crane is a dynamic load because the wire rope from the winch, it continuously pulled in a rotating way so that the load is lifted. In that case, the wedge socket is the proper one to be used. It is like a knot which you cannot pull it in this direction. The way the load pulls down, that will not be allowed. The direction what the load has to be removed or the cut, it will not allow. The wedge socket is the important parameter when you hire a crane or when you inspect a crane or when you use a crane, you have to use that wedge socket. When you use this wedge socket, an improper loading may topple the crane, but the wire rope will not come out. What happened in Tirupati, people would have heard, that we will discuss very seriously on it. So this is called non-returnable wedges. We have to cut this side and remove from that side only. You cannot remove in this direction. So that is what non-returnable wedges. Crimps we use it for a normal wire rope sling, which we use it for lifting the machine. So it is a static load. It is not moving or it's just holding the pier cap or U-girder. So there is no issue in using crimped this thing. For our internal these things, our CMRL is permitting two crimps in the wire rope slings. So next is like U-clamp. When you attach that, you ensure that there is a U-clamp. But if you technically ask me, the U-clamp is not required, but it is good to have a U-clamp more for the wedge sockets because 100% it will not return. And second, the rope bends, kings, bird cagings, etc. We have seen many cases like rope has got bent and there is a worn out cases in the rope. The thickness has been reduced and there are a lot of things which rope may go wrong. And diameter, as I said, diameter is a major parameter. When we see a mission, we always take a vernier scale and we take the photograph of it. What is the rope has been reduced or how long it has been used? Because no subcontractor is going to tell you that this machine or this rope has been utilized for so many hours. Have you ever checked the mobile crane for a maintenance record? Nobody has it for the cranes. As far as I have seen the third-party inspections in the machines, maintenance record like service record, if you buy a car or Audi or something like a renowned car, they say that it is company maintained car. It is company maintained car. They will have a detailed from the start to now. You can get if you have an Audi, you just tell the number, they will give you the database. How many years there has not been serviced in that showroom. And based on that, you can decide whether to go for it or not to go for it. So like that, these cranes are locally maintained. So we got to be little more careful on that machines. So number of falls, majorly there are two types of ropes roaming around. Like one they will tell it as local and one they will tell it as Europe or a foreign make with a different constructions. The rope has multiple constructions based on their constructions, based on the tensile strength, based on their steel quality. What the manufacturers suggest is different cases. Imagine if it is a 20 mm rope. The thumb rule speaks about d square into 12.5. 12.5 is nothing but a conversion from the inch. So if it is a d square into 12.5, it comes to 5 ton. We can allow till 5 ton. But that will not be the case in a different construction rope, which is like a groove or a lever or a different kinds of crane, which gives you at 11 to 13 ton capability. Because that has been tested, that they have a certificate out of it. In many cases, we have requested for the MTC, material test certificate, and contractors have provided the material test certificate that will withstand more than 13 tons. 11 tons. So that is also available. When you determine the fall, you have to go for a diameter and you have to go for a MTC also. When you check on the either side, you can determine how many falls is required. So you don't have to get confused, like it's d square into 12.5 is the minimum category. If it is 5 ton, it can really withstand 6 to 7 tons. So 5 ton is the base. So when you go for a 5 ton, you can just like that lift it. Even if you ask any operators, like I have seen Sundaram crane operators, they are in the mind they will tell that this many falls will lift these things. So falls is the major this thing, and falls has to be determined on what all basis: dead load, load chart, and number of sheaves, and ASLI. So all these parameters has to be seen when you determine the falls. So ASLI setting, when you determine the falls, you just check on the load chart. When you check on the load chart and see the visibility of the crane and see the load chart, and then you see the ASLI. When you see there is a hook which is available with 7 or 8 falls, and they have given 6 or 7 falls, and you check the load chart, it says whether 7 or 6 or 5 at that boom length where we are lifting and where we are going to keep the U-girder or pier cap. So when you see that and you go for the ASLI, you ensure that before a lifting plan, it is good to ensure that the certain parameters has been kept and the load chart photo has been taken before the lifting plan itself. That can be resembled exactly on the scenario. That can be easily done actually. So the load chart setting in the ASLI should match load chart, ASLI, physical. So all these things shall match. So only then the assurance of the load can be taken as granted. So again, the registration number, I have spoken a lot on that. Next. ASLI setting. So this is what it looks like, the number of falls and the tonnage and the SWL, all these things will go. One of the cases we have been breaking one incident I would like to tell you, which my friend has quoted in a different project in Mumbai. He told that they've been breaking their head on matching the load chart as well as ASLI. They're having some load chart and they are trying to match with the ASLI, where client is asking that prove it, this is the boom length you are using, this is the SWL it comes, where is your lifting plan, and is the lifting plan matching with the SWL? So when they try to do it, what happens is they couldn't match with the single parameter of the ASLI, what is recorded in the machine and what is showing in the load chart. So what happens there, after a severe breaking of head, they finally found that there is the same model number, different variants are available. The machine has multiple variants. It is not a single, if you see that model number which is printed in the machine, it is one model number actually. In that, many variants are available. Like we have a car top variant, middle variant, there is a sunroof, and a lot of things are available. In that, they felt that after they found that it is the third variant, it has to be, the load chart has to be downloaded. And after downloading the third variant, and they found that all the ASLIs are matching, parameters are matching. So ASLI setting, it is not matching with the load chart, then we can go to the base and say that there is something wrong with the load chart itself. So outrigger, I have said that the outrigger is the major parameters. If you see many accidents, out of crane incidents, overall ratio, if you see, because of the floor and outrigger, it goes up to 30% of the accidents occurring because of outrigger and these things. So we should be very careful on outrigger and its platform. The counterweight, again the counterweight selection has to be matching with the load chart. If it is 90 ton, 60 ton or 70 ton, whatever the tonnage, the counterweight has to match with the load chart. So this is a small cautions I would like to make on the mobile crane before entering into the certain parameters which goes to the not satisfactory of the machine. So one is this general requirement. As you all know, we cannot deviate the general requirements, which is registration copy. If it is a road equipment, it is a registration copy, fitness certificate, insurance, and tax receipt and pollution certificate. Pollution certificate nowadays, for the old machines, it is required. If it is a BS6 or the next level, it is not required. But otherwise, we use all mobile cranes and hydra cranes, all comes with the pollution certificate. And operator documents, license, if it is a mobile crane, HMV plus trans, and other, there is huge confusion going on in the license requirements. So there are license requirements. In India itself, there is no uniformity. We should accept it. In Maharashtra, you need a license for excavator. They call it a separate name for it. And in Tamil Nadu, if I ask, there is no such parameter called excavator, this thing. Many people says that it is a road, not a road equipment. There is no license is required. Any vehicle which is registered, that has to have a registered license. So even when I ask an RDO in Tamil Nadu, they have a confused answer only. I'll throw it to the stage and decide what it is on the earth moving equipments. And which is coming to the road like backhoe loader and all these things, it has a requirements. Like mobile crane, you have to have a heavy license. That is for sure, because it's 7.5 ton above, you have to have an HMV license, which is also running on the road. So mobile crane, we have no issues. It is running on the road, so we need a license. So experience as per COC, I'm not mentioning any experience here because it differs from, I seen that it is differing from package to package. So that based on your COC, please verify and check it out. So mostly it is 5 years, and certain areas it is 3 years. So package to package, certain areas we see that there is a difference, but still going for 5 is the usual principle, it is followed. An eye test report, it's basic. So without an eye test report, you cannot function. Fitness report and training certificate, training from CMRL certified agency. So next is like physical and functional important, like not satisfactory. Now if there is an outrigger leak, we will straight away reject the machine. And second, boom dents and bends, we will straight away reject the machine. Wire rope damage and end termination the same way. Hook block assembly and capacity. Certain areas I have seen that the hook block doesn't have the capacity of lifting 100 ton. It is hook block is written with a clear nameplate, it speaks on 80 ton. And many areas the faults have been increased, but it has been lifted to 80 or 100, proposed to 80 to 100 tons. So be sure which is the minimum parameter that has to be taken as a final guiding one. So the third one looks like ASLA versus load chart mismatch. We've seen ASLA is mismatching with the load chart, which I've seen detailedly, and hoist drum overlapping. The hoist drum overlapping is also cause a rope cutoff, and it has a problem. So limit and overload cutoff failure. There are many cases we have seen also that the limit has been, overload limit has been not showing. In certain machines we have also seen that the overload is not showing even after crossing 90% of the load. And certain things like overload test failure. We have seen incidents like when we try to pull up the machine, when you are doing an overload test, the brake drum fails and the machine has been, the brake releases and it has been fallen on the ground. This is happening at the time of minimum lifting itself. So that also we will take it as a not satisfactory. And ASLA versus false and ASLA versus counterweight. We will check all the parameters on that ASLA versus physical as well as the load chart parameters, and manufacturer ES, EOC and ASL. So we all know that being very true to our heart and very true to our knowledge, we have seen machines working on the entire India is all old machines. And we have to be very true to ourselves, and we know that these all machines are very old because laborers will not come out of German or Europe after below 15 years. So it is very, very, very rare to buy a new machine which is on 400 ton or 500 ton. And in my experience, I may be wrong, people may differ with me, but my experience is that the machines are old. So we should be double careful on when we are selecting the mobile cranes, because it is the major equipment, it's a final equipment which we are using it at the higher load lifting. So it is all old machines, we have to be very careful. So that is why the manufacturer here is a crucial part of it. And again, that has to have a registered license. So even when I ask an RDO in Tamil Nadu, they have a confused answer only. I'll throw it to the stage and decide what it is on the earth moving equipments. And which is coming to the road like backhoe loader and all these things, it has a requirements. Like mobile crane, you have to have a heavy license. That is for sure, because it's 7.5 ton above, you have to have an HMV license, which is also running on the road. So mobile crane, we have no issues, it is running on the road, so we need a license. So experience as per COC, I'm not mentioning any experience here because it differs from, I seen that it is differing from package to package. So that based on your COC, please verify and check it out. So mostly it is 5 years, and certain areas it is 3 years. So package to package, certain areas we see that there is a difference, but still going for 5 is the usual principle, it is followed. An eye test report, it's basic. So without an eye test report, you cannot function. Fitness report and training certificate, training from CMRL certified agency. So next is like physical and functional important, like not satisfactory. Now if there is an outrigger leak, we will straight away reject the machine. And second, boom dents and bends, we will straight away reject the machine. Wire rope damage and end termination the same way. Hook block assembly and capacity. Certain areas I have seen that the hook block doesn't have the capacity of lifting 100 ton. It is hook block is written with clear nameplate, it speaks on 80 ton. And many areas the falls have been increased, but it has been lifted to 80 or proposed to 80 to 100 tons. So be sure which is the minimum parameter that has to be taken as a final guiding one. So the third one looks like ASLA versus load chart mismatch. We've seen ASLA is mismatching with the load chart, which I've seen detailedly, and hoist drum overlapping. The hoist drum overlapping is also cause a rope cutoff, and it has a problem. So limit and overload cutoff failure. There are many cases we have seen also that the limit has been, overload limit has been not showing. And certain machines we have also seen that the overload is not showing even after crossing 90% of the load. And certain things like overload test failure. We have seen incidents like when we try to pull up the machine, when you are doing an overload test, the brake drum fails and the machine has been, the brake releases and it has been fallen on the ground. This is happening at the time of minimum lifting itself. So that also we will take it as a not satisfactory. And ASLA versus false and ASLA versus counterweight. We will check all the parameters on that ASLA versus physical as well as the load chart parameters, and manufacturer ES, EOC and ASL. So we all know that being very true to our heart and very true to our knowledge, we have seen machines working on the entire India is all old machines. And we have to be very true to ourselves, and we know that these all machines are very old, because laborers will not come out of German or Europe after below 15 years. So it is very, very, very rare to buy a new machine which is on 400 ton or 500 ton. And in my experience, I may be wrong, people may differ with me, but my experience is that the machines are old. So we should be double careful on when we are selecting the mobile cranes, because it is the major equipment, it's a final equipment which we are using it at the higher load lifting. So it is all old machines, we have to be very careful. So that is why the manufacturer here is a crucial part of it. And again, yes, changes in the boom length and fix it and you can change it, but in the Kravler crane we will fix the rope. Here we will see the main, this thing is like the structural collapse or the structural damage or corrosions in the entire boom. And it has to be, and many areas we have seen that the rope has been bent and there is a bend in the rope in the Kravler crane machines, and there is an abnormal sound. Many times you have heard that there is an abnormal sound coming when the boom up and down. We heard that there is one machine, after everything has been checked and done, the boom has been falling automatically. Slowly it is moving down. So these are the things when we go for in the same, most of the cases like mobile crane and Kravler crane are not much of a difference. It is tire mounted and it is a Kravler and it is used for a specific purposes. Most TU packages are used this mobile Kravler cranes for major these things. So one peculiar incident I would like to discuss on this forum. There is a rope. Imagine there is a 6 to 7 falls. If there is a 6 to 7 falls available, 20 mm, you can take it as 20 mm. There is a consideration that the lifting capability of that machine can go up to 30 ton. And the load chart, when we verify, we have to verify with some documents. An object or inspection or audit also always follow with a objective evidence. Even if I say that it is 23 ton, it can lift. I have to prove it is 23 ton, it can lift based on the load chart. Somewhere the document has to prove that my decision is right. I also cannot, or the dish approved competent person or whoever it is in safety, nobody can comply with their experience. They have to prove it with the objective evidence. So that is where we have to, when we check on it, so when we given a 23.7 ton or 24 ton and we have given a certificate saying that 23 ton it can lift. Now there is a case for the contractor where they have to lift at 27 ton. So there is a confusion that whether we can lift it with the 27 ton or not. The certificate of our third party certificate speaks that I have given 23.5 ton at so and so radius or less than or equal to 7 or 8 radius. So that has been given. Now the contractor is raising that we can go up to 27 ton. And contractor is very technically right, because the machine can withstand 30 ton. I also accepted it comes with a 30 ton. So it has been, then we have been discussing with the next level parameters like GC, next level, we are going for next level discussion. And that time what happened is like, there is no objective evidence saying that 30 ton it can be lifted. Or I have to give from my license number 30 ton as it can be lifted. So that is the scenario was there. So what you will think, what you will decide, machine can technically withstand 27 ton, no issues at all. I know, you know, and everybody knows that, but where is the objective evidence? So in a safety, there is a major point which we have been facing nowadays is an objective evidence. When there is an even everything is right, objective evidence is wrong, there is a problem. Even everything is wrong, there is an objective evidence available, we can fight for it. So that is what the case now. But now in this case, what we have took is like we have gone for a GC head level and we have discussed with them and we have asked for reason. Then finally what is concluded is you have to raise the falls. And I am not willing to give us a 30 ton because I don't have any objective evidence out of it. And contractor wanted to lift it for sure. So finally the discussion went out and final discussion was happened is like you increase the falls, one more falls, it will not take more than 45 minutes. Increase it and lift it. So why I am telling this incident, why I am telling this scenario is because be more concerned on objective evidence. And you enact that it is been implied there so that everybody is safe. Nobody has to take a risk on it. So this is one thing we have been remembering on this counterway, this thing, crawler crane. And the gantry crane, you have seen it is nowadays we are coming up with the feeding gantry for the launching ridders. Now the things are moving, we are doing a double decker erections and all these things. So gantry, as you see, there's one more thing I have to highlight in this case, like no gantries in our CML as a lightning arrestor. So the lightning arrestor is the lightning arrestor for the gantry has to be given like a lightning arrestor with the wire rope, and in the bottom one small plate has to be fixed, and it has to be grounded with the this thing, and the gantry has to roll on it. So this is how the lightning arrestor you can give in the gantry crane. There is no other way. If the lightning falls, imagine if there is a worker working on the cabin, there will be a problem. And for sure, there will be a problem. And most of the cases, when it is not in use, it has to be tacked with the rail. It does rain, the storm stopper has to be fixed. So a lot of the gantry crane, if it is major things like object sensor, that has to be fixed, like anemometers, wire rope, and end terminations, ASL and all we have discussed. So the end stopper, I have seen many cases, the end stopper is just an angle welding. It's just an angle welding. Imagine if it comes with the force and if it hit, and we are sure that it will not withstand. And the object sensor, I have seen in many cases, object sensor, if there is a one small droplet of the water in the object sensor, it is not functioning in a righteous way. So that is also going wrong. So you be careful on these parameters. It is for the development actually. So Hydra crane major, what we have seen is like the limit is not usually getting cut off. The limit problem it comes. And the boom dent we have seen. And the major cases like ASLI mostly in the Hydra cranes. Nowadays it comes, the new machines are coming up with the very good ASLI settings which is inbuilt. By AS and all giving with inbuilt. But the older cranes, what we are using is, it works on our time. And after that, we have to close our eyes and go. It is this way we are seeing many cases here. So because the reliability of the additionally attached ASLI is not so well vigilant, and it is not doing good actually. So that you can take care how you can, either you can replace machines or you can have a tie-up on it. So the drilling rig, what we have seen is like the recent things like the major, this thing like ground level, and even this load cutoff is not, the upper limit cutoff is sometimes it is not working. And mainly we will see is like reverse alarm, the reverse alarm, boom dents or something. Like the crawler crane chain plate, we see chain plate is major, and sometimes it also gone problem and it is in toppling or one-sided this thing. And nowadays it is not there. Before we have seen that mate machines are available in this EMR also. The mate machines are very old machines actually. So mate machines are very old machines. The mate machines are very old machines which maybe ran more than 15,000 hours, when you're very careful on 15,000 hours. So the hydraulic leaks and all we don't tolerate, and we say that it is not satisfactory. So this is all again the trench cutter. We see the rope parameters, whether sometimes we have seen that the rope cut off and it is fallen and it is very difficult to remove it from the trench and all. So again major things like end terminations, the reverse alarms, and the turning swing alarms, hydraulic leakages, and all these things we have seen. So excavator, the major, many people, we don't give not satisfactory for a crawler crane, or we don't give a not satisfactory for a mobile crane if the swing alarm is not available, or the small anemometer is not available. So the major areas where the not satisfactory we will give on the swing alarm and other things are excavators and backhoe loaders, reverse alarm. That is a major thing which got hit. People get hit because of that. And buckets, many buckets we have seen that it has been rod has been inserted instead of steel. It has been instead of having a pin or a bolt nut. So that we usually see that and rejected. And damaged hoses which usually spills away, and when it breaks it comes out. So again, these are the major parameters we will check. And backhoe loader, the main thing is like we will see the reverse alarm and major things, and the bucket lockings mechanisms, and hydraulic oils, and the internal clusters, whether it shows a proper reading or not, and lights. Mainly it works on the movement areas. It twists this side and opens and comes out. So it uses on night times, night shifts. The backhoe loaders loading the buckets and dumpers. So that major areas we will see on the lights and other parameters. So air compressor, you all know that when it fails on UT test, we do an UT test. If it is the mm inside the air receiver, if it is reduces, usually it comes with 5 mm or 4 mm thickness of the metal. When it reduces to 3 mm, we will reject it. And the emergency stop switch, and many cases we have seen that the throwing air blower hose which doesn't have a lock mechanism with the compressor. And the high pressure builds in it throws. And many areas we have seen the saturation point of like 12 bar or 6 bar operating pressure, when it reaches, it is not getting cut off. It is like a time bomb. When it is not cutting off, it is like a time bomb. Trailers, there are a lot of confusions on trailers also. I will keep it in a very short way. Trailers, there is a RTO passed weight, laden weight and unladen weight. You call it as a gross weight. So when it calls as a laden weight or gross weight, they usually get a very small number like 43 ton or 50 ton or 35 ton. Like that they will get, because you have to pay every year more amount of duty or tax or something they have to pay to get the more load carrying capacity. And the RDO is also worried that to give a more loading capacity instead of puller. Puller they are okay. Puller and axle they are okay. They will give 72 tons for axles. A puller with multi-axle. But with the trailer, they are also worried to give more weightage. So ultimately when there is something happens, it goes to the record. When you go to the record, it speaks on only 43 ton or 37 ton. So currently load test is being functioned and is moved on. So that has to be very carefully seen. And corrosions, I have seen cases like where the tires have been bursted when carrying the U-girder or pier gap. The puller, again we will usually check on the HP, how much HP the horsepower is there and how much RPM is there, and whether it has the potential to move the machine. Nowadays we are checking, even in the casting yard itself we are moving it and we are checking it, we are braking and we are finding out whether everything is satisfactory, and only then we are giving it. So we gone to that next level also and finding out whether it is okay or not. And the second, the puller, it has to be a manufactured one. The tie-up between the axle and the puller. Usually people fabricate it and weld it. So usually people fabricate it and weld it. So that has a bigger issue when it is a braking or when there is a ramp or when there is a speed breaker, it goes off. So lifting platform, you have seen we are using nowadays modern tech. We are not now, many packages are using lifting working platform, or you can call it as a storage platform or whatever it is. But the working platform is been tightened with the McCauley bar and has been holded. There we are doing a load test. When there is a difference in the height reduction, or there is a crank, or there is a sound, or there is a crack, we reject it. So we check whether the diagram and DPD test has been clearly passed, and then we certify this thing. So lifting beam was initially there was a small difference in the lifting beam, because the hole between the mobile crane pin and the lifting beam, it is not matching, and they have to tailor it at the last minute, and they have to provide it with the saddle plate, and they have to weld it out, and they have to lift it out. So this is how the practice of doing nowadays. After benchmarking, but one thing is very great in the CMRL, what we have seen is like the benchmarking is very fast. So when somebody does a good thing, it cascaded immediately, and it has been followed in the elsewhere packages. So that one thing is very good in CMRL. So nowadays there is the cutting, the altering of the unnecessary heating of the beam is not happening now. So that's a good thing. So hydraulic jacks, so usually we deal with pressure equipments also. We are good at pressure equipments also. Pressure equipments, I have seen one thing I have been noticed, which to be very frank on, is the power pack is not being maintained for a long time. There is no maintenance record for a power pack. And we have seen that whenever we hold the pressure on 400 ton or 450 kg per centimeter square, it automatically drops to the 300 and 350. It has to be maintained regularly, only then the pressure holds. And the hollow jacks, as you know, it is a very tedious and very important equipment which has to be maintained properly without leaks and without any sounds appearing, cranking sounds or something happening in the hollow jacks, because it is going stressing, pre and post stressing, which is going to be the loading holding capacity of the train or rail. So that has to be seen. We will see oil, and the efficiency has to be less than 5%. But almost all the jacks and power packs we have seen is like it is coming around 98 to 99%. So it is okay. So we have not seen any bigger this thing except the one incident which got blasted. And the pressure gauges, valves, and these all should have a calibration certificate. So pressure gauge and valves and calibration certificate, and the pulling power will check and pump holding pressure will check. Again, this boom lift, scissor lift and man lift, we are doing a load test along with the sandbag or silica. And we are checking it, and the upper limit we are checking it. And in this case also we have seen most of the machines are little old. Nowadays we are seeing that many new machines are coming. Here one confusion is available, and one is that the machine is one make, and the truck is one make, and whether the basket or the boom is a different make. So imagine if it is a Ashok Leyland truck. It has been fitted with the Sahni crane, which used for a man lifting. Now what happens, the OEM, it doesn't have a combination of both manual. There is a separate, when you buy a machine, you have to go for a Ashok Leyland machine, which is a separate manual, you will get it, that is a truck. And Sahni, you will get a separate manual. You are fitting it in this machine. And you can endorse it after 6 months only. You cannot endorse immediately on the RTO side. It is a truck fitted with a crane. So that you cannot endorse it. When it is a new machine, of course you can allow it. So switching function, the both, again, I don't have to go for it, the reverse alarm and other things. So flat car, again, it is all related to tunnel and wear and tear, flat car, misalignment, out of range, braking mechanism, couplers, connectors, anti-slip surface and safety marks, working load limit, all these things we will check on flat car. So locomotive which is used for a transportation inside this thing, so these all parameters like emergency light, braking, lighting, oil leak, unusual size, tractions, couplers, connectors, hose, all these things and all we are checking it, we are finding it in a movement way and then we are certifying it. So again, the segment director, we see the full operation of the segment director. There is no alignment issues, there is no movement issues, there is no emergency stop which is not working or interlocks. If it is not working, we are rejecting it. So warning. So again, a batching plant. Batching plant has a lot of things like air compressors, belt conveyors, screw conveyors, xylos and other things. Xylos are only physical. Screw conveyors are fitted with an emergency route out, and belt conveyor has to have with a cord, and 4-way of emergency cutoff should be there available. And the mixer, the operator has to, in the SCADA system, the people has to operate from there and has to stop it from there itself if there is any emergency. And unusual, without, I have seen people moving on the, clearing the sludges or the blocks without the safety belts and other things. So these all some things we have seen. And the launching radar, it is going to be our, the world is going to see, the country is going to see that we are going to use as CMRL. We are going to use 5 to 6 launching radars, I hope. So launching radars, we will discuss on the things where the launching radars, where it went wrong in VSLL and other things. So launching radar, usually the support frames and corrosion, cracks, the structural, main thing is structural and counterweight. When you take care of the counterweight, the major things goes okay. And the emergency cutoff, overload mechanism, obstacles and obstructions, instruments like anemometers and other things. So when there is a wind, we be careful. So let us learn from the country's accidents or elsewhere done, and we can go for a very safe and clear launch and grading operations. So these are some of our live photos. Many people have seen us doing service of 24 hours and providing certificate 24 hours. So, and solving whenever my number, as far as people knows me closely, my number is always on. Anytime in a 24 hours, you can call me. I am willing to support and I will share what I know. We will work. And we work for money, but that is only for TPI. Else, everything is a value addition we provide to the client. Like QR code, instant certificate, immediate inspections, and giving knowledge of other packages to this package, how betterment can be given, and how they do and how these people can do, and how you can innovate. So all these things we given, and we constantly in touch with CMRL also, and we are in GC also. They are guiding most of the things. Whatever happens in other packages, been informed to us also, so that we more cautionally take that in a TPA inspection itself and we find it, whether anything is, we can suggest and get things done. And yes, we get an astonishing support from contractors. So it is impossible that we couldn't explain how humble, and we will never, the Circle Safety will never forget this management and these people, even every operator till to the head level. They have been educating us day by day, and many people has given opportunities, and we have tried. So anything you have to prove, somebody has to give an opportunity. So when you people have given us an opportunity, and we are very thankful for it, and we sure that we are still innovating many things. There is a problem. There are a lot of small gaps available that we are addressing. We are trying to address, and we are bringing up with a different methodology, like a hoverboard camera, and we are finding out how it can be done. And the rope, continuous rope verification. There is one instrument available. You can rotate and find out the rope, everything is good or not. So all these things we are coming up with the different latest technologies from other TPA agencies elsewhere. So that also we are bringing up. And if anything is there, you can reach out to us and we can solve it immediately. It is a great job. It is a great opportunity you have provided us, and we hope that we are fairly doing justice towards it. And we continue to do it, and we are expanding, and we are giving still more faster service, as well as nowadays we are providing certificate instantly also. You don't have to work without certificates. So we are mobilizing two more team members to give a certificate when everything is right. Even whenever you ask faster, it goes to the 3-level check, and only then certificate has been issued. So it does not come quick. It comes with minimum of 50 minutes of time, but we ensure that it's been served at the minimum time. So thanks for the great opportunity. I hope I have given some lights of my knowledge and experience on this thing. And we are very happy to conduct this program, and it will not be happened without the seniors, dayas around this table, and many tables around here, and many people has given inputs. So this is a great opportunity, and we thank you very, very pleasantly that it is a great thing that you have attended this training. So anything is out, please reach out to me. If there is any questions, please let us know. And I would like Jana sir and seniors to give us small highlights on this thing.
Mohan Das, he done a very good presentation, and he shared his that is very nicely done. I never expect, but I keenly watching the informations and all, very nice. But due to non-availability of time, I think he reduced the speech. That is important. Now, if we have any more questions, if you have any more questions, because I know Murali is having a lot of questions. Yesterday also he told me, sir, the puller is certified only 55 ton, but the puller is pulling 75 ton, whether I have to allow or not. see, lot of questions is in his mind. So maybe you may also have lot of questions in your mind. And during the coffee time, you can talk to Mohan. Some people may know the answer. We ourselves we can discuss and we can answer. So after the coffee time, we will assemble and we may have some case studies, and also we wanted to have a panel discussion. Whatever you are having in your mind, you can ask. The people knows the answer can answer. Not only we answer, but the people who is having the answer, better answer, they can also answer. So with that, I give it to the DC. Where is the DJ?
Definitely an outstanding presentation. When we all say, the professional presentation is what makes everybody feel to come for a right place to gain knowledge. And definitely, I'm sure Mr. Mohan Das has given the best presentation with loads of confidence and strength, and with the team what he has in mind. Circle safety is majorly moving to the next stage, and not without all your support is definitely going to go to the next stage. And thank you so much once again to each and everybody. And let's give it a big applause for Mr. Mohan Das once again. And thank you to each and everybody. Please let's break for a break. And 15 minutes we will come back. Thank you so much. On the stage to join the panel, I request Mr. KP Sendil on the stage. நல்லாவே கைத்தறல் கொடுக்கலாம். Mr. KP Sendil is here. And to join the panel, I request Mr. NRK to join the stage.
Why we wanted to have this panel discussion, we want all of you to interact, See, sometimes when we are talking, you may feel bored. This person is talking, keep on talking or what, whether we are understanding. Sometimes we may not understand what we are talking. So, I wanted to have this panel discussion. Let us all together join this panel discussion. Not only we are talking, you also have to talk. So what is your problem in your size and all? That's why we can discuss. Here in this panel, we mingle with everybody. Like myself and Mr. Baladivagar from GC, and we invited Mr. Reddy from P&M. We invited Mr. KP Sendil, who is the execution, and we invited Mr. NRK from safety. So all these, people, safety, P&M, execution, and together with the consultant is available here, and we may start to discuss. So first, we would like to discuss. First point, I want to ask one question to the members. So what is the major difficulties when we are implementing safety? Anybody want to say? In the stage also you can talk.
Any phone is there for the one exclusive phone for
Just, so if someone could raise the hand, our team will come to you.
Forum here, everybody's here. See, evaluation, there is of the criteria of the mission selection. Means, for example, you are select the crane. So, in which basis you select the crane? So, that's my first question. And where you select the crane? And whom to select the crane? So, who are the parties are involving to select the crane?
Yes, nice question. Yeah, that's a nice question. Yeah, you can say, Reddy.
Before selecting the crane, we'll have a pre-inspection. Actually, we have a criteria as per the CMRL contracts, whatever it may be, it's 8 years or 5 years, below 5 years. Generally, for the long-term hiring, we prefer the crane of brand new equipment regarding the availability of the cranes. Once the crane, we have selected the crane, after having the commercial discussions and everything, if it is a brand new crane, we don't do any pre-inspection. If it is a crane of 1 year old or whatever it may be, we will be having a pre-inspection at the source. Once we do the pre-inspection, after receiving the crane, we will have a arrival report of the crane equipment. Along with the safety, we will do the inspection. After completing the inspection part, internal and everything, then we will call the third party for the inspection. After completing the third party, then we will engage the crane after completing all the formalities of safety documents and operators' competency. Having the third party training to the operators, we will engage the crane at site.
Okay, thank you. So he say about the crane, someone select some location, but the crane is arrival to site. Then after you do all the inspection, right?
We'll have a pre-inspection at the source from where we are getting.
Who select? Who go and visit?
Our P&M engineers will go there.
P&M. Here, any P&M visit? On the selected selection area. Means suppose the crane is in from somewhere, some other location. Or you go and visit the crane, whether the crane is as per the CMRL criteria matched or not. Please. Anyone?
Yes, sir. We definitely do the inspections based on our internal norms as well as COC norms. First, our internal norms also are very high standard. So we check all the cranes as per OEM's manuals, as per safety standards, whether it is matching or not. All the outriggers are there correctly, leakages are there not, and wire rope conditions, all the safety functions are there. Then we again do the inspection at site once it arrives at site. Also, we evaluate the operators, how much experience, which type of jobs they were engaged in, and what is their capabilities, we get to know there. Then we engage them in our day-to-day operations.
Okay, so you are a P&M?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so when you go and visit that spot area, you check all the criteria on the spot itself.
Yeah.
Right. So okay, so whether if there is any safety person accompanying with you?
Yeah, definitely, sir. Pre-inspection, safety team along with P&M team we used to do.
So it is, you are from which package?
TU02.
TU02.
Raya, you can explain about the crane which we changed for the TBM lowering, the activity which we visited to the Bangalore and all. So you can explain that one.
Yeah, definitely for heavy liftings, we have prepared the load calculations, everything, what is the load dimensions and what is the load radius, everything as per our designs and site criteria. We first evaluate that. As per that, we decide which crane will be feasible. Based on that, we finalize 2-3 cranes, evaluate that, then we give a technical reports on that. We have checked, we have lowered 6 TBMs here in TU02. For each activities, we have finalized the cranes and we have inspected at the site level itself. All the safety parameters, functional tests we have done there. Then with our execution and erection team also twice visited there. And later we only finalized that cranes.
Okay, thank you. What about other packages? I want the selection criteria.
What crane is required for your package, that you have to see. See, 3 things we usually see before selecting a crane, like inside, that one thing, what load we have to lift, which radius we have to lift, and where we have to keep, what height. These 3 things we need to know before going to the inspection. And of course, the execution team who is going to do the job, he should be also be available with us, that what crane is going to come, what outrigger length, and we have space, all these things. And selection criteria, when it comes, the presentation which you have showed, one is the wire rope and the operator confidence by seeing his experience by operating there itself. Some basics by talking to him and while operating, while taking out the booms, we'll come to know a lot of things from that only. And the rope main thing and the boom, whether with any abnormal sound is there, and one part outrigger. These things are the main criteria which we are seeing there, as well as the aging of the machine. These things we'll see. And that's also.
Okay, good. Okay, so thank you. Fine. So then you select the crane in the particular spot, means some other location, you are selected, the crane is selected. After come to site. So in come to site, whether the TPI comes, safety team comes, then why? What is the deviation? That is, we found there is a lot of deviation. So why? Then after that they say some people come and reject, TPA reject. After you select on somewhere else, you only go on, along with your execution team, they go and select the crane. When the crane is reached on the site, then TPA come and check, safety come and check, then after that is the criteria not matched. Then go for rejection. Why?
Because okay.
availability. What is availability? What is the radius available? Before we making the lift plan, we need to see that personally. The join of execution, the join of P&M and join of safety, then only we can prepare the lift plan. Most of the time it is missing. We prepared as per the load chart, and then we make the lift plan. Thereafter we are saying that on the spot the radius also slightly different. As per the radius also differs with the load chart. Then the contradicts will come to the TPA. That is what my observation.
Correct. So what you say, that's correct. Why means there is a poor planning. The selection of criteria for the crane, I think is more or many, we are finding many contractors, their failure. So the crane is come on site, we facing the same difficulties from the TPA and the safety team also. So that's why your work is delayed. So when you can select the crane, go to the particular spot along with the TPA, execution and the safety team, check there itself whether this crane is suitable for our work or not. So this is what we practice in international and other countries. When it comes to India, there is many companies that do it. But come from this, especially I found, I'm not say every companies, some packages we found the crane is suddenly on the site. We go and visit the site from the TPA inspector, they give a lot of complaints. So once the complaint starts, you're the ideal of the crane and productivity loss, cost also loss out for this. So please discuss your management team. What is that backlog for this?
Plan. So we are having experience. So I wanted to ask a question to Sendil and also to Reddy. So who is preparing the lifting plan? Who are all reviewing the lifting plan in your project?
Lifting plan we are preparing from the plant end, sir, after consultation with the execution team. Actually, at what radius we have to lift the load. At what radius we have to lift the load and everything. We consult with the execution team as well as with the safety team. And what is our crane capacities, everything we will check it. Based on that, we will prepare the lift plan. We will discuss with the execution team and then we will prepare. Afterwards, the lift plan is prepared, reviewed by our CSM, later on our project management, sir. Project manager and project management.
Okay. Then you submit to GC.
Yes.
Then we are reviewing the lift plan and we are approving.
Before submitting, we have a Teams meeting with you. In the Teams meeting, after consult your advisors, we will change the things and then we are resubmitting to you, sir.
Okay. Now I wanted to ask a question, Mr. K.P. Sendil. So when the lifting plan prepared by the P&M and the in discussion with the CSM or execution team, he prepare the lifting plan, review the lifting plan and submit to the consultant and approve the lifting plan. So now I want to ask K. Sendil. So this lifting plan is given to the project sites. Who are all review the lifting plan? Who are all understand the lifting plan? Whether this execution, the work is going according to the lifting plan or what?
Yes, sir, definitely. Once the lift plan itself, we are discussing with the P&M, then only we are preparing, sir. As an execution, we are in discussion with the P&M department. We are together only, we are preparing the lift plan and we are selecting the equipment also. Togetherly, we will discuss and we are selecting the equipment, sir. And based on our design criteria from our design department, we will receive the maximum load of the steel. Example for the diaphragm wall and all, the steel cage weight and all, we will receive for the maximum cage weight. So we will not consider the minimum one. What is the maximum panel size and what is the maximum load of that particular panel? From there, we will arrive the maximum load carrying capacity. So from there, we will discuss together with the P&M whether 100 ton is required or 150 ton is required. Based on that, we will select the capacity of the crane. Then we will start to arrive the chart and all, everything. We will check everything and then we will prepare the lift plan. According to the lift plan, we will select the lifting tools and tackles. Based on that load, we will select the lifting tools and tackles. This everything we will send it to design department once again for the review. So they will check once, they will confirm everything, then only final call we will take and we will send it to GC for the review, sir.
Another question is whether when you prepare the lifting plan and submit it to GC after consultation, after approved by GC, those lifting plan is given to the site team, the site engineers, whether their site engineers going through that lifting plan and whether making sure that according to the lifting plan, the lifting is going or carried out or not. Whether you are ensuring.
before each and every new lifting activities, sir. Example, DeWalt cage lifting or any other new lifting, there will be briefing will be conducted based on the lifting plan with all our engineers and supervisor level. We will conduct a toolbox, and as well as we will brief about the lifting plan, where need to place the crane, how much the radius we calculated from the lifting plan and all. We will explain everything to the site team, sir. For the initial activity, intermediately, whenever the team changes, whenever the supervisor will changes, definitely we will give the tools also, sir, toolbox also.
Regarding this, sir, I would like to add some notes, especially during the cage. We will be considering the maximum cage weight. Still, there will be deviations in the cage weight. There, we are preparing the dynamic lift plan. What exactly is coming, we will prepare based on that. We used to execute.
Maybe ensure the first thing, the hard copy to be available at the lifting area. So the lift coordinator is responsible for to have the available the hard copy. First thing. Second thing, the main lifting sequence. What are the sequence? Maybe 5 steps, 7 steps. What are the things? It should be displayed there. So the shift changes also, the person those who are taking care of also can be easily visible to what is going at the set. Then during the shift change also we need a briefing and toolbox, other things. Then as rightly said, definitely dynamically due to area constraint, maybe location and maybe the boom radius or some things may happen due to the site frequent changes. So these we are all taking into a sequence. Then we are making this as a dynamic here also. So what are the changes done against the approved lift plan? So all this implemented, then again we are going for the review. Then review done, we have a small workshop at our PRM meetings. What are the lessons learned from the approved lift plan? Then again we are reviewing this lift plan and we are submitting for the revisions. So like this we are making the changes.
See, why I am asking these questions, based on my experience, I am asking these questions. Why? Because, I don't want to tell you the site name. I visited one site. They prepared the lift plan, and the lift plan is available. That lift plan is, available in the container. And they are also having the lift plan in their phone and all. So that lift plan shows that one of the material had to be lowered using the 260-ton crane. Okay. Then I asked that lifting supervisor at the site, where do you have the lifting plan? Yes, sir, I am having lifting plan. It is in my container. Okay. Can you bring? Then he asked his assistant to bring that lifting plan. In the meantime, I asked the questions. So how you are going to lift this material? He said that, sir, nearby we have 150-ton crane. In that crane we are going to lift and we are going to put. Then after the lift plan come, I also don't know. Then after the lift plan come and I open the lift plan says that they have to use 260-ton crane to lift that material. But that person is at the site, he is saying that he is going to lift using the 150-ton crane. What I am trying to say here, whatever we are preparing that lift plan, it should be communicated to the site team. And the site team must know that, must understand. They may have many cranes in this in the site. The site team must understand that lifting plan, what is the submitted lifting plan, what is the approved lifting plan, whether he knows that this crane I have to use that or not. So I would like to ask NRK that whether these lifting plans and all communicated to the safety team, whether they know all those lifting plan and all, I wanted to ask.
So every lifting activity, especially as Raya Chandrasekhar told, I am very happy and proud to say that we have lowered 6 tunnel boring machines into the shaft of 20 meters and 28 meters very successfully after shifting from the port, from the Kanjipur, from casting out to our respective locations with meticulous planning only. This would have not been possible but for the very right communication. But as a safety team, our documentation safety team and CSM and the respective site location senior OHSC managers and OHSC junior OHSC managers are all communicated well, and we are all duly supported and cross-checked by the respective location GC safety in charge also, whether this lift plan is approved or what is the exact variation, whether the same equipment or ASLI, any correction, third-party inspection. So it's functioning as a very good teamwork. Nobody is working in isolation, and it's still being tightened up. And safety expert Mr. Janardhanan has recently introduced of last minute one MS team meeting for checking all the lift plan. And now they have come up more than 1 ton lift plan to be having and checking the machinery and all. What I see, because I have worked in phase 1 also and other metro locations and all. Here, and especially with the advent of recent accidents happened at other Thane, Gine and other locations, we are feeling still we have a lot more to do. We are not achieved 100% and all, and we are improving. We are still augmenting our documentation system. Then the photographs or type sequence, that sequential chronological sequence of position of the cranes, how it will be at different lifting conditions. Then I'm holding that tandem lifting and all, everything in a photograph, the boom length, the safe working load, operating radius, in a very nutshell manner, not beating around the bush. What are all the critical points to be checked and analyzed for a critical lifting? We have very simplified that lifting plan, and key points are not at all being left out, missed out, and it is being communicated from the GC and on a day-to-day basis, and it is exactly working well. I don't find any lacuna or loopholes in the system.
I want to raise one more question regarding for this lifting plan. Just now, Circle Safety Das say about the cranes, means age of the cranes. So when the age of the crane, we cannot judge. Why means from international point of view, from LTA project from Singapore, we are giving for 15 years for age of the crane. So, but when come from this CMRL, we are giving for 10 years only, right? 8 years, 8 to 10 years, mobile cranes. Why? What's the reason for this? So just now he put that one point, Circle Safety say one point, some of the cranes look like very old. Okay, so do you know about the degradation for the crane? Anyone? What is the degradation of the crane? Degradation means the reduction of the load. So how we can find it? Anyone? Why means if the crane is, if you look very old, means we have one case study. There is a 160-ton crane. Their capacity for the safe work load is what is given by the engineer, the lifting engineer. They say 65 ton. But the crane is not available on the neck of the moment. Then the contractor bring one more crane. The crane, they say the capacity of the crane is 275 ton crane, that is. But when you go for the safe work load, it is not matched. It is not matched for 65 ton. Why? So when you go for the thorough checking for the crane is a degradation crane. Means the load chart also not matched. But the crane is a registration of from India itself. We found it that is 2015 and 2018, manufacturing 2016, and they give the certification of 2017. So this kind of deviation will be there here. So while you found any cranes, so how it can be degraded? Degrade means we go for 85 or 75 ton. So I won't need anyone can be P&M team, please. I won't need this one. Why means we found many cranes are degradation crane found also here. Why means 265 ton crane is not matched 65 safe workload capacity. But the same 160 ton crane is matched 65 as per the load chart. It is in every packages the same issues, not from GC1, GC2, all. Anyone?
So, Divakar, your question is why we are bringing in very old cranes into the site, right? Okay.
So if they have some doubt about the crane, if it is a old crane, then how they can, what is the selection criteria and how the TPI they can check, and whether if they're going the same 100% load test or it is a less. I have one experience, past experience working for DFCC project. They're using for the old crane. The crane here is 20 years back crane. And when they're going for the load test, the load test is not matched. So immediately that one of the IRSC officer, he go for the degrade the crane for 75%, and immediately TPA come and check for 75 ton degrade, it convert into 100%. Then only we can allow it. So that is what, that's just example. So what is your practice here?
Sir, recommended the manual, which is the crane has to be the preventive maintenance. It's a quarterly or half-yearly and annually. Suppose the crane user, which is maintained the quarterly, half-yearly and annually, we can find out the healthiness record. Generally in India, the healthiness record is not maintained for the crane. Based on that, healthiness record shows that what is the spare parts are replaced. What are the spare parts are replaced by quarterly, half-yearly and annually. According to the condition of the crane, the healthiness record indicates the spare parts are replaced. Accordingly, we can decide the condition of the crane is good. Normally, which is not looking after many of the projects.
I have shared one experience. 2014, I working on the Gammon project. It's international Gammon, not Indian Gammon. So what happened? There is special crane, that is, the crane is we are using only for 15-ton crane. It means 15 years of crane, but the age is already barred, means 20 years. So, but that is a special crane. So what happened? We have discussed with that experts. So they give a suggestion for this. They won't need a crane, but as per the government law, means same like COC from the CMR, they also have that. We have that manual. So it's not accepted, but we have special permission took from the experts. What they say, they go for degradation for this. So that is for 15 years crane, more than that. So that crane capacity is 150 ton. So they go for the load test only for 75 ton. So based on 75 ton, it's converted to 100 ton. So then 100 ton is come from 75, its total load is 65 ton only. So then after that, the TPI, the professional engineers allowed it, we can start that lifting operation. So that is what we learned from the past experience also. But when come from India, so no one carried out this inspection so far. So when I just request the P&M team, whether if you found any this kind of old cranes, please highlight to your top management what to do, whether if you go for degradation or not for this. Why means what, sir, what is your name, sir? Shakers says really that's a good point about the health record for the crane and also these wear and tear for the machineries. There is a lot of tools and tackles, means inside the parts will change. So once changed, what happened? The original structure will be gone out. And yesterday I sent one alert to all the packages. How many people have seen this one? No, not yesterday. Yesterday, 2 days back, there is one incident has happened, one of the package. I don't want to share the package also. We found there is a top pulley. The crane is carrying that, pier cap, and neck of the moment, suddenly that unloading time, it stopped. So due to the pulley got cracked. So this is totally 100 ton, that weight is 100 ton, the crane capacity 450 ton, but it's stopped ready. It's hanging on a air itself. Same like Tirupati incident, how many people knows about it? Tirupati incident, same, but it's different. The issue is different. The pulley got cracked and it is hang on the air itself. So, but when you go and check the crane, but still they say 2018 manufacture. But go on inside that crane issues, there is what do you say about, there is a parts and a lot of tools and tackles they have changed also for this. So just I shared this one, why we need to control the systems at the site for safe lifting operation for this. Thank you.
Employed GC to monitor. Do you think that the role the GC plays is helpful? In what way, their role is helpful? Give me, with the example and scenario. So this is the scenario that we got into, and GC stepped in and they helped us. In that process, added value to the CMR. Is there any scenario?
Sundarajan, your question is it's a good question. Now the current scenario, the CMRL project, CMRL way of handling, and the contractors who are executing the job are well matured, and contractors are well aware the importance and significance and the criticality of the lifting job they are doing, and because the reputation of the company, they are driven by headquarters guidelines and other thing, conditions of contract, and everybody is aware what they are doing is correct or not, whether they are doing any violation, procedural violation and all. Everybody is aware of that, and if anything goes wrong, what will be the repercussions, the consequences, and accidents taking place around in various metros, and especially somebody has told what for no fault of us why they should be injured and all, warning somebody. And when we are doing our CMR metro project, why the public and the road user, for no fault of them, they should get injured, and especially the accident took place at BMRCL where that reinforcement cage fell on a lady and her son, has like a Nirbhaya case in the sexual so many acts has come. Now that accident
Sir,
is...
sorry for the interruption. My question is, give me a scenario where GC helped you to perform better. So that at the end of the day, CMRL gets benefit.
GC is not one incident. We are considering GC as our extended arm. Not that they are here to monitor us, they are here to supervise us.
But that is what COC says, right? They are here to monitor and supervise.
COC is different, but they are equally concerned that nothing should go wrong. And they will also be questioned by the client, and so many people are there to question anybody. Why, in that case, if they have not done properly, what did you do? How did you allow it? Then where were you there at that time? So the onus is on everybody now. There is no compartmentalization, accountability or responsibility. So in that case, I feel I am very happy not to boast or anybody. I have worked under Delhi Metro Rail Corporation, Doha, Mumbai Metro Rail, so many metros I have seen. But this year, general consultant, I have never seen the people sitting in the container and doing with the computer or browsing and all. They are literally coming to the site and monitor. And everybody is having that fear of work. That is very good, really. So many cases. You are telling one case, can you say? And all? I can say many cases they are this thing. And especially the third-party coordination with checking certificate. And really this third-party agency also, they have a very challenging job. They have to, they are getting money from the contractor, but governed and guided by, approved by client. So they have to do justice for both contractor as well as the client. And everybody is having a challenge. And to my extent, nobody is willfully violating at all. If at all anything gone wrong and incidents have happened inadvertently, that is because of some miss out. That's all I can say.
What our team does, let us say we have got some 7 sections and casting yard and all that, rebar yard and all that. So the number of observations what our safety team reports is much lesser than what actually GC safety team reports. So because of the vigilance from the GC, in fact, I used to tell my teams also that you have to be much more proactive. With even one engineer of 2 engineers of GC safety can able to post 20-30 observations. What is that our team's efficiency? So from there, we are able to pick up, in the sense, we are able to, monitor and prevent many things. So that is number one. The number of observations by a GC safety engineer is almost equivalent to 10 people of a contractor. Number one, the efficiency. Second thing is that the method statements. We are working with many of the different subcontractors like utility subcontractors. So where the ecosystem or the safety system does not meet with the employer's requirements, what generally the utility contractors does and what we do. But having said this and we have to work with them, so we sometimes face a scenario like, we have to deploy certain systems which CMWSSB contractors or the utility owning contractors doesn't like to do. But
we used to discuss with the, GC safety team also and find some solutions. What can be done better? Let us say, shoring is to be done. Then we take we go for a discussion and see the site also, and also the depending upon the let us say geology of the site, based on the technical assistance from the technical evaluation from the GC engineer also, not only from the GC safety, GC technical engineer also, we take a call whether shoring must be done or not. So, which we are doing it in regular practice for our pile cap construction or some deep excavation, wherein in the case of the utility works, like Kaliam and Coal Street or somewhere, whether the things are, the safety systems what we adopt through the CMWSSB or other utility owning agency contractors, whether it is adequate or not, by discussing with the GC safety or GC technical engineers, we form like a committee, and then we, what is the HIRA or what is the work method statement, what are the risks, all those things, we go through with kind of, brainstorming process. So it has happened in my project. That's why I'm just bringing these two as an examples.
Okay. Good.
Thank you.
One more thing, Mr. Sundarajan. So we plan to lower the first DBM by 3 o'clock afternoon. We scheduled it. But give a go-ahead signal for lowering the first DBM at Greenways. I still remember that. That is checked by everybody, and that set the platform for lowering other DBMs, and we are religiously following that. And of course, the rest is history.
Thank you, Krishna Prabhakar. Thank you, NRK.
Sir, I have a second part of question. So now the question is to GC. Okay. Are you completely satisfied the way that contractors are executing their work and their cooperation to GC's requirements, COC requirements? How comfortable are you in getting the job done by contractors?
Okay. It's a very good question, Mr. Sundarajan. Compared to, the previous, I think Mr. Kumar, when he started to say that, in the early days, helmet itself, it's difficult. Now, the contractors are very well aware of their duties, roles and responsibility. And when we are going to the site, everybody knows what they're supposed to do. So for example, if I go to the site and if I go to the site and I meet Sendil, now he can tell me what all the safety he is taking care. He can tell me what all the safety issues are there, what all the safety measures he done. He can able to tell us. And like this, Mr. Reddy, he can take what is the roles and responsibility of the safety persons or what. Now, at present, the safety is integrated. Before we are always talk about the integration. Now, the safety is integrated to everybody, like execution team, the P&M team, and everybody is talking about safety. Everybody is seeing safety, not only the safety people. So, really, we are very happy that how these contractors are doing. I can say that how they are doing. You can say only one word, how they are performing. I can tell that our AFR, accident frequency rate, is 0.007, which is very less than the Doga Metro. So for the past 2 years, I touch wood, we are having only 2 last time injury. We do not have the fatal accident, maybe road accident, or we are not counting. We are not having any major accidents and all, because of these efforts of the contractors only. Maybe we are also guiding them, we are monitoring them, but unless otherwise they put a lot of effort, the contractors are putting a lot of efforts for implementing safety, I can tell you. Not only the safety people, the execution team also well aware of that, what is the requirements and all. Really, we are happy and we appreciate their efforts for having this safety standard. So I can assure that, the CMRL, we can complete this project without any fatal accident.
Yeah, Sundaran, the point is good. And see, this is a teamwork first of all. CMRL, GC, and a contractor. So far we are working as a team, and we can achieve a lot of things. You know, there is some incident happen, so due to some of the root causes. I just share some few points to you. Just now, Krishna Babakar talk about this one. He called at 2 o'clock also. Before he start any activity, and he have found any kind of risk, or he want to select something, any missionaries also, he take my advice and he implement at the site also. Really, I say thanks to the project manager, Krishna Babakar, like that. So he did is a major role, but he is the head of the project, but he take our advice also, and he's implement on the site itself. And suppose if he have any doubts, apart from us, he talk to CMRL directly, CGM level also for this, and discuss with the GC to the CMRL. And we take the conclusion also. So this is a teamwork, first of all. So we are working as a team. Thank you for this.
So my final and third part of the question. Now the question is to both crane malfunction or crane failure. What is your opinion? Both contractor and GC.
Yes.
Even though COC does not mandate, the TPA should be involved in incident investigation. What's your opinion? Can they add any value if we involve them in incident investigation?
Yes, of course, 100% investigation, TPA agency is 100% required, because in the case studies you can show we do not to leave left any root causes which could not be later give any problems or what. So their participation is most important. Yes.
Any instance where you have involved TPA and get the value from them?
Yes, of course. In the first phase we got that. Same on first phase.
First phase.
Yes.
What about second phase? We are in second phase, phase 2.
Now we got it. So nowadays, yes, C4 also, and it is.
Okay. Sundarajan, I'll answer this question. See, operational point of view, as a safety team or P&M team, so we can find that investigations, what are the causes. But at the same time, the structural point of view, the third person opinion is required. That is what we are calling for the TPA to furthermore to find out the root causes, which will help them to prevent the reoccurrence.
So, is it Konda? Anything
So, good afternoon, all of you. Regarding involvement of TPA agency, in our case, we had a near miss case in our gantry. Okay, one hook block got brake was not malfunctioned. So that time, because we have taken the TPA advice also, they were present there. They were advising what was the issue. So that way we are involving them. Anyway, in all investigations, apart from stakeholders, we have to call, we can refer or we can refer with third party or any expertise. Okay, that's
correct. You are correct. Asif, you want to say anything?
Hello. Sir, first, your query is like what type of value addition a third party agency is giving in a project. So, first thing is, it is mandate. The third party certification is required legally yearly once. But in CMRL contract condition, it is 6 months once. So, compulsory their involvement is required for a project. And something unique is like, first thing is like this operator evaluation. Like they do have different types of license. Majority of the people don't have an idea about whether it is accepted or not. So that the TPA person will be very clear like this particular operator is capable of handling. That way they are doing a very good value addition. And again, like if you investigate the accident root cause, so during the presentation, lot of satisfactory, non-satisfactory parameters we had seen. So majority of the incident will be little bit outside this, because whatever TPA person are checked, that is not happening as a root cause during the incident. Because the basic things like papers, registrations, like fitness of the equipment, basic like sheaves, falls, wire ropes, those things and all, like most of the time it is examined. If that involvement is not there, then most of the incident will be related to this basic things also. So in that way, it is a value addition. Thank you.
And sir, adding to this, Ashif, if you don't mind, I hope that in DMRC we have a separate mechanical engineer. From DMRC, we come mechanical come designer.
Yes.
monthly once he visited to all the packages, particularly for the mechanical equipment inspections. So basically more evaluation.
Yeah. And moreover, I would like to add something. Moreover, whatever TPA cannot say where you will not only inspect the machinery, but the topographic condition where you will place the outrigger, whether it is a backfilled land or any drain hole and all, manhole is there and all that part and all GC is asking in the weekly meeting and daily rotation and all. So whatever the maximum they are telling about the machinery part, TPA, because they are giving the third-party inspection certificate for the machinery. Apart from that, the accident which may happen due to the placing of the plate, steel plate, and marching of the machinery in by putting the steel plate over that it is marching, that soil bearing capacity, backfill land and all, those things are all taken care by the GC. So this TPA best effort and the GC's effort and monitoring and our own team communication and thing, I think the job is going excellent.
Sir, I would like to add here, we being a third TPA agency, sir's question was one of the very unique one where we usually on day-to-day basis we used to feel with it, because there is contractor, there is GC and there is CMRL. So we are actually in discussion with three, and all three people are discussing with us. So how we have seen is like there is some investigation, even latest investigation in DB03 on one of the packages, even in the SIRS packages like ECV01, and every incident they have been, when we visit the site like the mobile crane inspection, there is a GC standing, there is a lifting plant review is going on, and we being doing TPI services. And they will be privately checking with us, and GC is contacting with us. I hope one good thing I would feel is like if there is no GC, that is the question here. If there is no GC, it's very difficult to handle here, because now when we see in this thing, the Bible is holded by GC now. So they are very strictly into the books. And when I see that missions, especially on ECV01, we have been a very extreme support with contractors and GC as well as to perform our activity. Because we being as a third party agency approving this mission, and then immediately the mission works, we incorporate and do it. So and most of the cases, the contractors are most cooperative also. So many cases the erections have been stopped, and we have been there in KEZ also. We have seen many incidents like the contact, like the layers have been very clearly set, and we feel that it is well connected. And the investigations, yes, I have been attended because I am being front face of my company. I have been called for many investigations and first-hand informations from my side also. Because immediately Anand will pick me in a toll, and he will ask me what has this happened, and are you aware of this incident? What is the real scenario is happening? And so we've been not in touch with the top management like yourself and Bo sir and all, but they have been in a very close touch with us. And GC will get an immediate report, like even from the heads level, they're immediately getting a first-hand information, and that is going to the investigation level, and that has went to the different control mechanism has been happened. So we feel this has been a very clear connect is going on.
Yes. So the reason why I used to ask the discomfort question is that when it comes to safety, there should not be any gray area. Either it should be black or it should be white. So since you have voluntarily entered into our discussion, client, GC and contractor,
yes,
I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
As an independent third-party agency, do you feel that we will not have, the disaster kind of incident in our CMRL package? How confident are you?
No, as I said, no, sir. If you ask me to be very genuine, I'm worried in two classes. One is on old machines, as we already told. I'm seriously worried on old machines because as a TPA agency, how far we can go and check. We can go check load test, we can go check the ropes, we can go check things. We cannot go and detailing about the sheaves or detailing about the inner part of the hook, the assembly, the inner pin. These and all, it is not possible from our side to check. So it is a final check what we do. But for that only, as Divakar sir was telling, the degradation and other parts should be taken care by the contractors. So we feel there is everybody knows it, it's an open forum. Everybody knows that there are many machines are old.
Okay, old machine. Second.
Yes. That leads to your answer, sir. So yes, it is, if you ask me how much percentage of the chance, I really couldn't able to tell that there are possibility. If you ask me, it is possible.
Okay, yeah. I know that you have completely, thoroughly, 100% check each and every machine. I know your limitations, but you can ask, the contractor, have you checked all these small things in a machine or in a crane, right?
Now I feel that they are
and
also...
you can cross-verify the checklist and then issue the certificate.
Yes,
that
yes,
is possible,
sir.
right?
Yeah, that is possible. We are asking them, sir. We are asking them and we are doing them. But for now, till now, there is no major incidents because it's been stuck. We have seen many small, and we rejected it and we holded the erection on that day itself. There are things which has been evaded with the possibility, with the involvement of certain things which we have not ended up in disaster. I feel that because in the 3 segments, somewhere it got caught. And it has been avoided. If you ask me the real scenario, like if the maintenance of health records and all these things, and possibly again we'll have to blame the subcontractors who doesn't have it. And even if they have it, it is not a genuine kind of like direct manufacturer's service reports, which is not available. That is for your direct answer, it is not available.
So your concern, there are 2 concerns. One is old machines.
One is old machines and we don't have the records of it.
Records of
on how they function it. But it has been, how it has been nowadays, it is eradicated. It's like we check something, they check something, and contractor is checking something, and contractor safety is contributing something, and GC safety is coming in a different angle. So all 4-5 angles it has been checked, and somewhere it is stopped. So it is, again, there is a part, if you ask me, it is right, it is there.
Correct. Sir, can we address these 2 concerns? Anyway, this forum is not meant for giving solutions, right?
No, not solutions, but at least we can come out with the proposals and everybody we can make them conscious. That's why we assembled here. We wanted to have this panel discussions to discuss the issues. Rightly you highlighted some of the issues. This one is a very good question, where there is any possibility of the crane collapse or a planter machinery collapse. This is very good question. During the safety committee meeting also, Mr. Tony is last committee meeting. Mr. Tony also highlighted this. This one is correct, and as explained by Mohan Das, that crane, any planter machinery, the age criteria, which he cannot able to see the inner part, maybe the bearings and all. It's also a grey area, one thing. The second one is the, as Segar and Balativagar said, the maintenance record, whether we are having a maintenance record or what, that is also, these 2 things are there. So for that, we are also having in the contract conditions, 2 things I wanted to highlight from the contract condition. One is the age criteria. See, we always, we highlighted the age criteria, maybe the machines we have to bring in within 8 years or 10 years, that one is the age criteria, one thing. Second things in the contract condition, it is written clearly that if the employer or engineer find that any machinery will create the risk, then we can deny that planter machinery to operate in the CMRL site. So that's why we need to be conscious, not only the GC engineer and the contractors also, they need to be conscious that because they agreed with the CMRL, they signed the agreement that, they are not bringing that machine which is creating the hazard. So first they have the responsibility, they should not bring the machine which is creating the problem. And the second step as a GC, where the GC engineers and the consultant, we also can check whether this machine will create a hazard, then we should not accept, and we can request the contractor to demobilize this crane. These two things are in the contract condition. We need to be consciously work on that. So these two things if you are doing, then we can reduce the possibility. That is the thing I wanted to say. If anybody want to say add, you can add.
See, as Shekhar also told, the health of the crane, we will not know when it comes from one side to another side. Like a crankshaft in a diesel generator and a membrane in an RO plant, in a structural parts in a crane, the boom and all is very critical. This is called like a CV and horoscope of a person. This is called machine signature. Machine signature is nothing but what a machine has undergone, the overalls, the major parts replacement. That history should go along with the machinery, crane normally. But that and all we are not demanding from where we are hiring and all. And they also should have a record what are the major parts replaced and other thing. So as Sundarajan is have concern, what will happen because of the old machinery if it collapses all of a sudden, suddenly and all? It's a right question. But still see, that's what every metro, DMRC metro and all almost now 25 years matured. So we are also getting knowing now biometric is coming in the machinery, plant and machinery. In DMRC phase 4, they have implemented in the conditions of contract. And good practices, so-called good practices in one phase are being incorporated as a condition of contract in the subsequent metros phases. So old machines, we can think of that and do something from there. But whether all contractors will be able to pitch in new machinery and all, that is also another thing. But it's a very debatable point. We can work on that.
Yeah, correct. The final point, I captured this. I request, now Sendil is here and Reddy is here and, the Krishna Prabhakar is there, the project execution team and the P&M team is here. We request, as much as possible when you are bringing the machine, you try to bring the new machines. That is the request. From CMRL and GC, even you yourself, you can put the request, you can bring a new machines if possible, or otherwise at least, that age of the machine, maybe within 1 or 2 years, if you are not sure that the critical machines, then we can avoid any major incident. That is the thing. So, we're running out of time. I would like to add one because many things we wanted to discuss. One question I wanted to ask, everybody's in mind. When we are doing the TPI, so what is the load we need to test? So as per DISH, I think Mohan Das is saying that I need to test 125% of the load. So whether we are making that, so what is the things which is going on? Can you please discuss?
Sir, a competent person is bound to answer the government of Tamil Nadu, which is controlled by Directorate of Industrial Safety and Health, whoever the competent person is. So there, if we go and speak, it is only 125% for static load, and movement, it means dynamic load is 1.1%. Suppose if there is a machine is using for 30 ton or 10 ton, I should go for a 12.5 ton. For the static load, or I have to lift and move or swing with 1.1 times. That means 11 ton. If you ask me generally, it is not happening as well as not possible. Both the scenarios in between, we are running and moving. So this is what the exact scenario, because load is not possible, the dimension is not possible, the scenario is not possible, the situation couldn't bend. Or these things is a real concern. One or the other day, we may be answering to the dish.
Morgan, see, only you say that 125% dish, you stop. Then I ask Reddy and I ask P&M, all this.
Right, sir. Thank you.
Practically, it is not possible, sir, to arrange the load actually. For 125%, it is not possible. Sir, if you are not doing that, we will degrade our equipment. Suppose if there is a 100-ton crane, we are lifting lesser load, means we will degrade our crane, sir. We will degrade our crane. The gantries, if we are doing the load test, suppose 40 tons we are lifting. If we are giving the exact load 40 tons, then we will degrade our gantry to 20%, minus 20%. And for the Craveler equipment or tire-mounted equipment, whatever it may be, we will cross the radius of the load, sir, actually. Suppose there is a 100-ton Craveler crane, there is no need to lift 100 ton. At the particular radius, around 20 meters or something, if the crane capacity is 4 tons or 5 tons, we can lift the load of 4 to 5 tons and then we will cut the scenario. Then that is quite acceptable.
That is last bench students. I will provide mic to the areas.
Around they are giving 55 tons. But at site level we are testing for 65 tons and we are giving the approval for the 65 tons. Whether it is practically is allowed or not?
Technically, factually not allowed. My concern is because RTO regulation speaks 55 ton. If we are moving it, something happens, and if there is an investigation officer, police, everybody comes there and asks why you have loaded more than 55 ton.
But the problem is in T-Bay itself we are giving the 65 ton as a clear evidence we are giving to the...
We have a deviation from the meeting conducted on CMRL GC contractors. So from there we are following it. But if you see, it is the real scenario, like the age of the crane, this is also one of the very grey area, because the trailers and pullers, for as I mentioned in my PPT itself, it has been that for the cost purposes, contractors are intentionally giving. So sometimes I have to get educated or enlightened from the seniors like you all and from Sundarajan sir also. Sometimes I feel or I have to take a decision as a bookmaker. So if I ask me Dharma or this thing, I have to go Dharma. It is book says that I have to go for a Dharma. But again, that you have to enlighten me as a seniors because you have crossed. I think this is the most easiest question has been put to the dais. And so Sundarajan sir also, out of all the experience of seniors, as a very less experienced person of myself, please enlighten me. Where should I stand? Either as an engineer or as a...
Mohandas, I am very comfortable with this question. Okay, I stand by you. You will get all the support from client.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
About it, puller is 55. This also happened in, we have big discussions happen also here. Okay, so why they fix first of all 55 ton?
For the, more than that, it becomes a problem or you should not carry it. That is the intention.
No, it is based upon the road condition, it is based upon the machineries.
Both.
So as per the RTO norms, only the fixed, right? 55.
Yeah. RTO norms, it is fixed as 55 ton.
So then, if it is the road condition not good, so why miss this in India?
Sir, actually, if you see the road condition, they are not considering in RTO. They are considering only the segments.
No, that is...
Whether you are applying for 45 ton, or you are applying for 70 ton, or you are applying for 80 ton. What is the payment? What is the fees? You pay it, you get it. So that's how it goes. Road condition, as we extensively discussed your cabin with many, even Asif sir and everybody, we have discussed this thing. This is actually, for if you ask the contractors, they are telling they have to pay a huge amount year on year. That's why they are going for it.
Hello, that's why we are engaging the third party. So maybe see, for example, contractor, he wanted to decide in his way. You know, myself, I wanted to be more strict, I will decide in my way. So that's why we put a third party, you decide in between us. So you work as an engineer. You know, sometimes, you know, when we are seeing the book, you know, it may not be possible. You work, you apply your mind whether this can work or not. Then you can see. No, that's why.
Say my opinion, what we are discussing here. Actually, we are discussing here about puller and trailer. So low bed trailer or flat bed trailer. So puller, we are talking about its laden weight and its permissible loads, whatever. So puller, the thing we need to note here is puller is not carrying any load. It is just pulling. So puller is having the counterweights in it so that it cannot uplift while pulling. So puller, in my opinion, it is not deviating any RTO rules. And while coming to the part of trailers, flatbed trailers or low bed trailers, they are carrying the loads. They are not independent. They are independent. So they are pulling, they are carrying the load. So this is violating the RTO rules. So in case of puller, in my opinion, it is not violating any RTO because it is not carrying more than 55 ton. Just it is carrying the counterweight which is around 40 or 45 ton. So this is my opinion. Yeah, thanks.
To check the load, correct? Correct, no? 125%.
Indian standard asking,
okay,
sir.
Understood.
Okay, sir.
See, one point of the manufacturer is defined that as per the standard you want to check 125%. Is it one part?
Yes.
Second part is P&M is saying I cannot say that I cannot depend on the 125%. Correct?
Yes.
But the structural member of the crane, the structural manufacturer, the braking strength, accordingly multiply with the 3, factor of safety 3 for the structural member, and then wire rope strings for 1:5 factors in that.
Yes.
Then, according to the crane age, everything, what is your decision making? One end is that P&M saying that I cannot take it for 125%. At the same way, when you are observing that the crane is having that much of age and everything, what is your decision on this side?
Yes, I would like to answer this question in two ways. One is, the question is about how much is the load to be tested. That is a separate question. The question now you are putting through is like how you are degrading and giving the SWL.
See,
So there are
125% standard.
Yes.
According to the boom radius and working radius, what load to be tested?
125% of SWL.
Exactly, correct. No, that radius, working radius, 125 to be tested.
Yes.
Manufacturer is recommended, standard recommend 125%. The paint is not accepting on that. And how, because the factor of safety is 3 times of the structural member, in this condition, how did you take the decision making?
No, we have to, obviously we have to regrade the machine with to 75 to 65%, 10% reduction for an 5 years later. The machine, the terms what they speak is like 15 years. The machine has to run. So that is where when I talk to the manufacturers, they are giving 85 to 75% load chart. Till the 15 years, the machine can withstand 75% of the load. The load chart itself 75% only. And if you see why I am not degrading in this CMRL, I ask, because when I send a ASLI photo to Jana sir or Baladivakar sir, they are particularly asking why you have given, why it has gone 80%. We are seeing 75%, 80%. So again 20% reduction has been gone through. So if I still reduce 10% or 20%, then the machine cannot run in CMRL. The conclusion will say, if you may imagine, if I wanted to tell you 100 ton capacity, already we are insisting only 70, 75. And in that 75, the contractor cannot lift more than 80%. So almost 40% we are already nullifying it.
Okay, one more thing, just what you say about this. Normally, how many types of load will be there in load charts? If there is new crane, okay, there is a OEM manual have. So in the OEM manual, there's 3 kind of loads will be there. One is for the actual load. Another one is the maximum load. Then third one is safe work load. So this already indicate in the OEM. How many people know it? So if you have the good OEM, you can check it. That's a maximum load. That is 1.25. What you say? That is a maximum load.
Maximum load.
The actual load is 100%.
100%.
When you go for the safe work load, is 75%.
75%.
Or 80%. Is based upon the criteria what the contractor fixed, what that load also.
Perfectly. So now
this is clearly mentioned in every OEM.
Yeah.
But now when the OEMs come from here, we check there is no such load chart. I have now also seen 75 or 80 also. So that's the thing. Just if we have the original OEM, you found this through 3 loads. What is safe work load? 85 or 75. And what's actual load? Actual load is 100%. So that is our load.
Correct.
The crane load.
Correct.
So when you go for the maximum load is 1.25. That is called maximum load. That's all.
Yes, sir.
Very clearly mentioned is everywhere.
Sir,
but many people is, the PNL team also mixing up for this, but they're not going for that much of load. They're going always go for the old crane, they go for degradation, lot of things after that. But when any cranes, you go for this 3 load, check it whether what is actual, what is the maximum, what is the safe work load. That's all.
Yes, sir. Lastly, I would like to say the another question, what you know, sir, 1.25%. I would like to put to Reddy sir and P&M people who are sitting here. So how we give is like many times we worked with Bijwal sir also regarding these things. So how they ask is like we are also not deviating. How it becomes like they wanted to lift only 50 ton. So when they wanted to lift a 50 ton, so imagine a case with the feeding country, we have done with the 200 ton pier cap. And we are lifting only 100 ton of a feed U-girder. So that is what P&M is also not requesting us to give us a low load and higher. In certain cases in like tunnel package, there we are only facing little difficulty. Because in elevated packages, we don't have issues. So tunnel packages, they don't have the ability to boom down the boom itself. And they can only swing. Many packages in TU02 and TU01, they can only swing. And the load availability is not more than 10 tons.
Okay. See, now I wanted to ask on behalf of all, and also I can ask Reddy and Mohan Das. So this is the crane chart. You can see this is the crane chart. So maybe the boom length, they are saying that this is the boom length. I can say I can select some radius, 10 meter radius here. In this 10 meter radius, I can say with this boom length, maybe like 30, what is the...
This crane has 4.5 meters at 6 ton. Hydra crane this is. If it is an Hydra crane, it comes onto 4.5 meter radius, which goes up to 5 ton.
5 ton, okay. Yes, so in that 5 ton, maybe you can test 1.25 time. That one you can take at any radius.
Yes, sir. So as you rightly said, and we have already taken a conclusion, sir. How we do is like we extend the boom completely. We have only 1 ton load, 1.5 ton load, sir. What happens is we extend the boom of Hydra crane to the complete end. There it speaks only 1 ton is the maximum capacity. Facing is they have a crawler crane. And their maximum bending boom radius is only 10 or 12 meters. Otherwise it will hit other crane. Because another crawler crane is also standing. With the minimum radius, that crane can lift up to 30-40 ton.
So for that, for the ton means 40 into 1.25.
It is not. They are not. Yeah, they are not having. They are not having.
We started in Delhi like these cranes accidents. Like majority of the cranes are manufactured in Europe and they are used in Middle East and they are sending to the India shipping and the shipping date they will tell it is a manufacture date. And most of the incidents are happening due to the poor condition cranes. Then in Delhi Metro we started the age restrictions. So the age restriction again in CM are also they are stringent. And being a safety manager, like I will tell like I need a crane which is complying to CMRL requirement, which GC also verifying every time. So we are sending a weekly list, P&M register, everything to GC. And like for age compliant crane, it is coming to the site. And again, it is like working in our site. But still, in this forum, everybody will agree. You also told like there is a fear, sir, like machinery is age, everyone, I am worried. So there may be a chances of accident. As a third-party competent agency, what efforts or what help you can do in identifying the old age cranes and how many cranes you rejected and restricted in site?
On the age of the cranes, no, sir. The age of the crane, based on the age of the crane, we couldn't be able to reject it. Because the parts are different. The counterweight speaks 1984, before I born. The counterweight speaks 1984. But the crane nameplate speaks, it is 2016.
No.
And the hook speaks, it is 2022.
No, actually, see, as a contractor, we from P&M they bring some cranes. From safety we verify. From GC they will agree that papers. And like a client also will tell this is the age. As an independent third-party agency is to have a third eye. Whether this formula, everything is going right.
Yes, sir.
So like if I am telling, sir, it is not fit. Then no, sir, see the registration paper. It is fit. So by paper, as a safety person, I will tell, okay, it is okay. But being like you are a third-party competent person approved by DISH, you know the machinery, fitness, everything. Like in what way you can add value? Like yes. Sundarajan sir also asked, like what way we can add value to find out those equipment so that tomorrow any incident happen, nobody should find as a root cause this is a very old crane, but it has brought to the site like this.
Sir, there is one more thing I would like to tell to Sundararajan sir also and to the Dayas also. The cranes what we use in India are mostly assembled also. It is not one piece. You know, the shipping, if you get into the more details of it, it becomes a very goofing factor. It is more or assembled. The outer weight, counterweight somewhere they purchase, the hook somewhere they purchase, the engine, the parts they change somewhere, the hook, the wire rope, even the wire rope, we are buying locally and fixing it. So the wire rope of the lever is totally different from wire rope of the wire rope which we purchased in Paris. So it is totally a very grey area where we can add value. So I coming to that point here. So how we added value in other cases, and in spite of your packages, we have done extensive inspections to you also. So the crane has been tested in a different angle. So we test it in a load value. We place it in a different angle. We place it whether the crane has a capability to withstand the stability criteria. And the full extent of the boom we are checking. The complete extent of the boom where there is any scratch or there is any dent or other thing. It goes for a thorough investigation. If you ask me, we are going detailing again. It doesn't go like a third party. It goes like a product inspection. So when I work in BV, I was doing product inspection. Transformer, we check it for 1 day. But at the site, there is a third-party inspection checking on the transformer, electrical side. It is a 10 minutes check. This is a 1 day check. So like that, our time extends to 3 to 4 hours. When many times Mubarak has seen that the crane has been stood for more than 2 to 3 hours. And we have done an extensive verification. Even your one scenario I could remember in your package. So there is one small droplet from the outrigger. It was dropping from his package. This is the first U-girder or second U-girder it has been lifted. So that time there was a scenario that it is leaking. And we wanted to reject the crane like that. But what happened is 7 hours we have been there in the site. Baladevakar sir knows it. Morning 6:30 I have called him. So 7 hours we have withstood the crane and we have tested for 1 hour the entire load, this area, that area, and what are even the complete raising of the machine, after that pumping the hydraulics, after that, whether that leaks has come. And after lifting the U-girder, it is stood for 25 minutes and holded that area and checked, we have seen that there is no end. Then we allowed the machine to work on it.
Okay, again you come for the first question. First question. See, what means is, I'm a lifting supervisor from Singapore. I'm a competent person. Okay, so there is a 6 months of course. So what I got a training for this, how you select the crane. So there is a ministry is working there, but here there is no ministry. That is the deviation. Second thing is, whether if you have that new machineries, there's a proper OEM. In the OEM, everything is, what you ask the question, everything is there. Like each and every, the rope, and that spur gear, the mechanism that is inside, there is a number will be there. The number also inbuilt in the OEM. So when it comes from the first question, everything comes. That is the first question. When you select the crane, whether all the proper OEM have or not, the numbering is matched the crane or not for this. So when after this come to here, you not check anything, there is a lot of, what is that, inky-pinky is going on, that machineries, tools inside, everything is changed. We know everybody. In India, the legal must be strong. If not strong, then we are adopted for this second degraded crimes also for this.
See, before we wound up and people are anxious to go for lunch, yesterday we have sit and prepared, taken 8 hours time for preparing the recent incidents happened at Samruddhi Expressway, Thane, 22 people died, and Tirupati, then 2 people died, and this Calcutta, NTPC, West Bengal, there 1 or 2 people fatalities, and one of the Mumbai Ahmedabad metro, this gantry crane launching at collapse and all. Whatever we have received in the WhatsApp videos and other things, we have collated and made a nice presentation with video for about 20 to 25 minutes. Yesterday, the entire a team of Circle Safety visited and prepared the nice presentation of case studies of recent accidents within a span of 1 month. But unfortunately, we could not show that because that will take around 15 to 20 minutes, and almost it's now about 2 o'clock. But the commonalities, just I would like to this thing. The commonalities is standing under the suspended load. Every person who is lifting the load, who is in proximity to the lifted load, should ensure that if that load falls down, whether I will be a target. Every worker should be taught and educated that he should not be stand in the danger zone. And some of the loads could have been placed on the platform, and some of the people putting the Macaulay bars standing under the suspended load without arranging the platform and all, and then the wedge, the crimping, mechanical crimping, we will not know what is the integrity of that mechanical crimping, how much and all. At least wedge, it can lock. If the rope is new, it will not cut and snap. So in Tirupati, it got snapped and the hook block fell on the 2 workers and crushed on the death, and Samruti Express way that I don't want to mention all contractor, subcontractor, I don't want to go into the details. And very recently, very disturbing incidents have taken place, and Mumbai Metro, Mumbai Ahmedabad, one of the package, and Thane, 22 people, and NTPC, West Bengal, and Tirupati, one after another, all lifting accidents. And this, of course, program was decided much earlier, and those incidents have justified the conduct of this program, what we are having today. And really this wire rope criteria, discard criteria, crane selection criteria, and if we come to know this crane is old and all, and no other go, management pressure, work pressure, progress pressure at all, please very judicious decision, and justify yourself with the derating, degrading as Mr. This thing. Very valuable inputs have been discussed. Exercise extreme caution to avoid accidents, and metro project, Chennai metro projects, if anything goes wrong, not only the employees, and it will escalate to the public also, and then it will be the different scenario, and public, social media, the reputation, the penalties, everything will go haywire and go for a 6. Let us all work together, and lifting, if properly done, will lift the morale of the company, morale of the project, and the reputation of the project, and the profit of the project. It will lift everything if lifting is done properly. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Raj.
Valuable for us. And apart from time, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for arranging this.
Sir, actually, based on the time concern, we have put in the paper 8:30, and we've tried to 9:30, and we finally landed on 10:30.
Hello. Hold us. Before we conclude, can you take final?
In past experience, actually, for this complication in the selection of cranes and all, what we received means in like Doha Metro also, if certain cranes like more than 50 ton capacity, we are receiving from the client side. We are receiving the client side like a green tag. You can go through this crane like that prior to engage the equipment. So such system, if there is such system with the current situation, it would be help to contractor, because always contractors are finding loopholes, and recent construction boom also is there. There is a shortage of machineries, there is a shortage of manpower. So contractor is always trying to deploy some scrap crane also to the work. So some system is to be implemented like green tag from the client side or GC side prior to engage the machinery. One thing, and another one thing is in some cases we are doing third-party inspection on job. If I want to certify the crane, means we are doing on-job third-party inspection. Like we have placed the crane and we have to lift the pier cap. So third party we are doing in the on-site. So in case anything goes wrong, So incident definitely would happen on the road. So this need to be avoided. So these two is my concern.
You are giving a good question, but answers you are the answer. Yes, you are the answer.
It's not a good question.
But
certainly you won't get green tag from client for credits.
Sir, and one more thing, with sir, adding to your this thing, sir. So everywhere I see that who holds the responsibility. So there we don't have to play. I don't want to play there. But as my experience or my willing, if a safety is stubborn, it happens in Castingan. If safety is stubborn.
You're bringing a crane on the spot itself. You're doing the load test there itself. So why you allowed first of all? So your second question. First question, the selection of the crane. So that is a question I'm raising again here. So when the people team P&M and execution and the safety team, we went to that particular location. If you found, if it is a degraded crane, means second-hand crane or new crane. When if it's new crane, okay, go ahead for as per the lifting plan. When if it is you feel that is the crane is not suitable for this or some issues will be there, then you go for the degrading. There itself. Then only it's good for you bring the crane from there to here. So once the crane comes here, then if a lot of inspection going on, again reject, then blame whom to blame? TPI, or GC, or contractor, or CMR?
Sir, it's simple, sir. Wherever you show, I will see the load test. I have no concern where you show. As a TPI agency, I have no concern. Road or wherever it is.
See, Mohan, I will put it in a very simple form for these two questions. The first question is, you want the GC and the CMRL to step in. For me, you are the responsible contractor. We want you to do work responsibly. You don't allow us to come and tell us. Understand? Now? Okay. The second one is, that one is very valid. We should not do the load test on the middle of the road at the site. It should be done at the customer. Finish. Okay, thank you.
Done, sir. Thank you. Sir,
Happy to see for all the team here. You connect a good event. And I want one word I want to say for this. When I saw first time the entry panel, I'm really impressed. So the way of answered and you are energetic and 24/7 your availability, that's good. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
So, and another thing is, what I see in circle safety is like you are open for any discussion and like you have a great vision of having your improvement like towards best practices. So as a part of that, we all are busy every day. Like this event is like bringing all minds together and talking about the best practices, talking in difficulties. It is not like blaming each other, like it is like to find the common solution. So this event is well organized and thanks for this.
Thank you so much, sir. We will do in future also, sir.
Circle safety is not inclined to money. He is not inclined to the contractor. He is not inclined to GC. He is not inclined to CMR. It's like a circle. He's doing properly.
We were nowhere lying, sir. We were. That's a great example. Thank you so much, sir.